Following a hard-fought loss to Life Prep, the Hays High Indians will look to finish out the 41st annual Hays City Shootout with a third-place finish and a 2-1 start to the season against the Millwood Falcons out of the Greater Metro Conference in Oklahoma. And with that, we welcome you into Hays High School on this Saturday afternoon, along with our entire Tribe Broadcasting Network crew. I'm Hank Corsair, and today this game features two teams that were hoping to be playing each other at 7 o'clock tonight in the championship game, but they both fought hard but will play each other for a shot at a top 3 finish. And for Millwood, this is only their third all-time appearance in the shootout, as they played in it back-to-back years in 2018 and 2019, coming out with a first-place finish in 2018 and a sixth-place finish the very next year in 2019. And even though this is their third appearance all-time in the shootout, this is the first time that Hays High and Millwood will face off against each other. So we'll focus more on those teams when we come back, as we'll have our team rundowns as well as the starting lineup for each team and a quick bracket update for both divisions of the shootout. So we'll be back in a moment. This is Hays High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Hays High School on the pregame show as the Hays High boys get ready to take on the Millwood Falcons in the third-place game of the Hays City Shootout. And before we do our team rundown, we'll give you a quick bracket update. We have 3 games from today in the books, and only one we have a final score on, and that's in the girls division for the 5th-place game. TMP took on Manhattan, and the Indians won soundly by a score of 43-18. And a game that was finished just a little bit ago, don't have a score on it, but Washburn Rural takes third in the girls division to defeat Millwood. And another one that we don't have a final score on is Sunrise Christian getting a 7th-place finish in the boys division over TMP. So now we'll give you our team rundown, starting with Hays High, who suffered their first loss of the season yesterday against Life Prep by a score of 44-36. The Fire jumped out to an early 8-3 lead, but senior Jack Weimer would hit some three-pointers to give the Indians a 12-11 lead at the end of the first quarter. And Hays High's biggest leads were by 2 points twice when they led 15-13 and 18-16. But once Life Prep jumped out to a 19-18 lead, they would keep the lead for the remainder of the contest and would not look back. But Life Prep would lead 31-21 in the third quarter, but Hays High would go on a 9-0 run to cut the lead down to 1 with 5 minutes left. But Life Prep would still go on to win the game by a score of 44-36. And for Hays High, they're looking to get a win here and to go into their next game against Manhattan here in Hays on Tuesday. And Manhattan's one of the teams competing in the shootout, but Hays High will get to play them as part of a regular season game here at Hays High School on Tuesday. And looking over at the Millwood Falcons, the team that traveled all the way from Oklahoma City, they come in with a record of 2-1, and they played their first game against Destiny Christian, I believe a week ago, and they won 79-55, and they won their first game of the shootout against Manhattan by a score of 87-62, but is playing in the third-place game after losing to the number 1 ranked team in 4A, the Hugoton Eagles, after falling by a score of 72-55. And this is their third time competing in the shootout, as we mentioned on that pregame opening. And last time was back-to-back years in 2018 and 2019. They took first in 2018, but took 6th in 2019 after losing their opener, winning in the consolation semifinals, and falling in that 5th-place game. So that'll do it for our pregame show. And when we come back, we'll read off our starting lineup for tonight's game. And then we'll have tip-off ready for you after that. So we'll be back in a moment. This is Hays High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Hays High School as the Hays High Indians get ready to take on the Millwood Falcons. And currently they are reading off the starting lineups, and we'll do that here in a second. But during that break, we were able to get some final scores, so we'll read off all of those again, starting with that 5th-place girls game. Manhattan defeated TMP by a score of 43-18. And in the 7th-place game, Newton defeated Hugoton by a score of 33-26. And in the other girls game, this one for 3rd place, Washburn Rural snuck past Millwood by a score of 50-47. And looking over at the boys games, the only one we have at the moment was Sunrise defeating TMP soundly by a score of 66-25 to get the 7th-place finish. And now we'll read off the starting lineups for tonight's game, starting off with the visiting Millwood Oklahoma Falcons. So we'll go with a 3 senior, 2 sophomore look. Starting off, they'll go with the 6'3", number 1, Zon Williams. Next, 5'11" sophomore will be number 2, Isaiah Wilkes. We'll go with 6'2" sophomore, number 3, Amari Barrett. And the final 2 seniors will be 6'3", number 12, Adrian Anderson Nelson. And 6'7", wearing number 24, Solomon Davis. And for Hays High, they'll go with the same starters that they've gone with for the entire shootout, starting with the senior guard, Edwin Muller, wearing number 0. And a sophomore guard wearing number 10, Trey Oakley. and Jack Weimer, the senior, wearing number 12 to round out the guards. And at the forward positions, they'll go with the senior, number 32, Kaiser Fox, and the sophomore, number 34, Dawson Reuter. So they'll now take, or actually I think we're going to have the national anthem right here. So while they do that, we'll step away and we'll have tip-off when we come back. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Hayes High School, they are now ready to tip off the third place game of the boys side of the Gerald Mitchell Hayes City Shootout. And we'll give you a uniform description real fast. Hayes High is going to wear all whites once again with maroon numbers and a gold outline. And Millwood will go all blue as the tip-off is underway. It was tipped by Kaiser Fox, and Dawson Reuter will get it. And we are underway here in Hayes High School as Jack Weimer will be the first one taking up for Hayes High. He'll look towards that right side and give it to Edwin Muller, who's guarded by Anderson Nelson. Weimer will now have it on the right wing, looking for someone to throw to. We'll throw Trey Oakley across court. He'll drive, throw it out. Muller, right wing three, no good, but we're going to get a foul and a turnover against Hayes High as it will be a charge listed against Trey Oakley. That's his first of the game and the first overall foul for either team. So throwing it in for the Falcons will be Adrian Anderson Nelson into Isaiah Wilkes. They'll let it dribble up the floor, or roll up the floor a little bit, and he'll pick it up past half court. And now the Falcons will throw it towards the right wing, and Amari Barrett bobbled it, and it goes out of bounds. It will be Hayes High ball. So 2 turnovers for each team within the first 25 seconds as Kaiser Fox will be the one inbounding it for the Indians over to Jack Weimer, who's being guarded by Isaiah Wilkes. He'll walk it up, and now we'll get a screen from Fox and go to the right wing. Weimer will now come back and throw it over to Oakley in that right corner. He'll go over towards the left side and throw it to Kaiser Fox. Being guarded by Wilkes, he'll drive, stop, go back out behind the three-point line, and now Edwin Muller will take it, pump fake the three, drives, and has the ball stolen by Isaiah Wilkes, and they'll go on the fast break, and now Jack Weimer will come out with the steal, and he'll go up, layup, no good. Dawson Reuter with the putback is blocked, but there was a foul on the play, and he'll go to the line and shoot a couple. They'll list the foul on Solomon Davis to give the Falcons their first of the game. And Dawson Reuter will be the one at the line. They'll take 3 dribbles and an extra one as well. We're exactly 1 minute into the contest, and his first free throw is no good. As Millwood will send one guy back to the other side of the court, it's Zon Williams. As Reuter will get ready to attempt his second free throw. It is up and good. So Hayes High will get the first points of the game, and now Edwin Muller will come out with a steal. He'll go up court, throw it to Kaiser Fox, who's being guarded by Wilkes. He'll go up with the layup. It's no good, and we're going to get an over the back call, I believe, against Dawson Reuter, picking up his first of the contest. So once again, that's Reuter's first and the second team foul for Hayes High. As the Falcons inbound it, they'll take it up the court. They won't let it roll like they did last time. And Isaiah Wilkes will take it and throw it over to number 1, Zon Williams, who throws it to Barrett. Now taking it is Solomon Davis. And back over to Wilkes. Thought about trying a 3, being guarded by Weimer. And now Adrian Anderson Nelson will try a 3 and bury it. Wilkes will get the assist on that one, and the Falcons have their first points of the game. As Weimer will take it, he's on the right wing, drove a little bit. Now we'll throw it out to Trey Oakley, who bobbled it, and will lose it as he was tightly guarded by number 1 of the Falcons, Zon Williams, and it will be the Millwood ball. And checking in for the first time will be number 15, the sophomore Isaac Fox, in for Dawson Reuter. And don't think we're going to have there won't be any subs for Millwood. They'll keep the starters out on the floor as Wilkes will bring it up, walk it up the floor, and then throw it over to Williams. And just working around the arc for Millwood. It will be thrown over back to Wilkes. Gets a screen, and now will go towards the right side. Throws it over to Williams on the left, at the left wing. Tries a long 3 and another 3 for the for the Falcons. As Jack Weimer will take the ball. Falcons are 2 for 2 from the field. And now Edwin Muller will pass it, and it will be stolen by Zon Williams. And we're going to get a foul, I believe, against the Indians, and it will be against Kaiser Fox. 3 team fouls, all by different players for Hayes High. It's Trey Oakley, Kaiser Fox, and Dawson Reuter so far picking up fouls, and now Jack Weimer comes out of the game, and coming in will be number 2, the junior Jonathan Cano. The Falcons will keep the same guys on the floor, and we'll move it around a little bit, and with the ball right now, Solomon Davis, and now another three-pointer attempt. Isaiah Wilkes, that one off, and rebounded by Hayes High's Trey Oakley. And Kaiser Fox will now throw it up to Trey Oakley. We'll work around a little bit, drive, Oakley in the left corner. Now we'll go to the free throw line, out to Isaac Fox, throws it over to Cano in the right wing. Moving it around a little bit, we'll go towards the left wing, and lost his balance a little bit as he was tightly guarded, looking for someone to throw it to, and he'll be called for the travel. Hayes High has not scored in 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Their last score coming at exactly at the 7-minute mark, which was just the free throw from Dawson Reuter. Walking up the floor for the Falcons will be Isaiah Wilkes. We'll give it over to Zon Williams, and he'll throw it over to Barrett. Working around the arc, Kaiser Fox will guard Anderson Nelson. His shot no good, but he'll get the, I think he'll get the offense, they'll give him the offensive rebound, but there's going to be a foul against Hayes High. And I believe they're going to get it against Kaiser Fox. That's his second 14 foul for Hayes High. Isaiah Wilkes will inbound it. We'll go 3-1 for the Falcons. And now Zon Williams caught it in the air and came down, and they're going to say he got pushed by Trey Oakley. And Dawson Reuter at the scorer's table getting ready to come back in. Not sure who he's going to come in place for, but with those 5 team fouls, Millwood will go to the line and shoot some free throws. It'll be number 1 Zon Williams, the 6'3" senior. He'll take 3 dribbles as his shot goes up. It's good. It's 7-1 Falcons with 4:32 to go here in the first quarter. Williams on to attempt his second free throw. It's good. Williams, the leading scorer so far for the Falcons with 5. And now Jonathan Cano will take it up the floor against Isaiah Wilkes. He'll throw it over to Trey Oakley on the H of the midcourt logo. He'll drive and get called, and they're going to call Zon Williams for a foul as they drove to the hoop. He got a little bit, he got shoved a little bit. And that's the second team foul for the Falcons, as Cano will be the one inbounding. Will throw it and have it stolen by Amari Barrett of the Falcons. He'll go down court. And we'll throw it in the corner to Isaiah Wilkes, who will throw it over to Anderson Nelson. Drives, tries a long 3, no good, and he'll get his own miss. And they'll take it back out. The Falcons made their first 2 3-pointers and have missed their last 2. And Amari Barrett thought about trying one from the left corner, and as Amari Barrett drove in on the baseline, he stepped out of bounds. It's going to be a Hayes High ball. Edwin Muller will inbound it. Jonathan Cano is in the backcourt, but is being tightly guarded, and now was able to break away from his man. We'll throw it up court to Trey Oakley, who's being guarded by Zon Williams. Almost had it stolen. Inside to Dawson Reuter. Does some dribbles. Goes up with a reverse layup, and it's good. And Falcons don't waste any time as they go up the floor. It's Isaiah Wilkes with the ball. We'll give it over to Williams. Thought about trying a 3 against Trey Oakley. We'll throw it over to Wilkes. He'll stand in place with the ball being guarded by Cano. Drives after getting a screen. In the corner, it's Anderson Nelson for 3. No good. Rebounded by Dawson Reuter. That's Reuter's second rebound of the contest. And now he'll try a three off of the assist from Edwin Muller. Can't hit it. Rebounded by Isaac Fox, who has it poked free. And I think we're going to get, no, Isaac Fox came out with it and was able to throw it away. And Edwin Muller will now make a three-pointer for Hayes High. And Millwood threw it up court, and we're going to get a foul against the Indians. Trey Oakley was already up to his third personal foul just 5 minutes into the contest. And it'll go send Isaiah Wilkes to the line. So far, the Falcons 2 for 2 at the line. As the first shot will go up, and we'll take a couple bounces and go through. Isaiah Wilkes will now attempt his second free throw. Trey Oakley just came out of the game as he's in foul trouble with 3. And as the free throw went up, it was Dominic Witch, number 23, who took a step forward, and it will be Hayes High ball. Jack Weimer will bring it up the floor off the inbound from Edwin Muller. 2:50 to go here in the first quarter. Hayes High trails 9-6. And Weimer will get trapped, being double teamed, and we'll get a timeout called by Hayes High. I believe the ref that was by Muller as he got trapped was calling for a foul, but the timeout came first, so we'll step aside as the two teams talk things over again with 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. It's Millwood 9, Hayes High 6. This is Hayes High basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Following the Hayes High timeout to avoid the jump ball, they'll take it from that right wing, close to right next to the student section, and Cano will be the one inbounding, throws it into Dawson Reuter, who holds his dribble and now will drive to the hoop and will get fouled, and they'll count it. Dawson Reuter already up to 5 points with that last basket, and he'll go to the line and shoot one more. And Hayes High will get a couple of substitutions. Edwin Muller will come out of the game, and Weimer will come back in. Or actually, no, correction. Cooper Lindenmeyer checks in for the first time, and Dawson Reuter will attempt his free throw, and it's good. And as Millwood will go up the floor, Weimer, I believe it was Weimer who poked the ball free, but it will stay with the Falcons as we're tied at 9 with 2:34 to go here in the first quarter. Wilkes will inbound, looking for someone to throw to, and we'll find Amari Barrett back on the left wing. Drive against Lindenmeyer, and we'll throw it out to Clay, who is guarded by Isaac Fox. Back out behind the arc. We'll give it to Isaiah Wilkes, who will stand and dribble in place, let the offense set up, and we'll find Barrett on that right wing as those two work it back between each other. And now Chris Clay will try a three, and that one's off the mark. And Dawson Reuter got the rebound and will get fouled. They'll call it against the number 23, Dominic Witch, picking up his first, third team foul for the Falcons, with Zon Williams with one, Dominic Witch, and Solomon Davis each picking up one. Hayes High currently with 6 team fouls, 3 of which coming from Trey Oakley, and the 2 from Kaiser Fox, and 1 from Dawson Reuter. Weimer picks up his dribble, and now we'll throw it to Jonathan Cano. He was bringing it up the floor. Cano tightly guarded by Zon Williams will drive, throw it out to Weimer, who looks, drives, takes a step back, picked up his dribble, and now tried to hit Cooper Lindenmeyer, and it almost will be a backcourt. Now Cano will throw it, and it'll be stolen by Amari Barrett. And up court they go. Zon Williams' layup is good, and they'll count it. They'll call the foul on Cooper Lindenmeyer, his first of the contest. And Zon Williams has already gotten 2 of his 7 points off of free throws. Going to get looking to get one more right here. It's up and good. It'll be Lindenmeyer who inbounds it, throws it over to Cano, who will now throw it to Weimer as they're still in the backcourt trying to get past. He finds Isaac Fox and will throw it over to Dawson Reuter, who's wide open, and now will drive, hop step, and get the basket. Isaac Fox will pick up the assist on that last play, and now we're going to get a steal from Jack Weimer as he'll bring it up the floor. That's his second of the game. Being guarded by Wilkes. He'll go all the way to the basket. Layup good. Hayes High with their first lead of the game as they go up 13-12, under a minute to go. Wilkes will just stand with the ball and dribble it, letting his offense set up. 45 seconds on the clock here in the first quarter. And now we'll throw it to Dominic Witch, and now back to Wilkes. He'll drive. Shot no good. Rebounded by Isaac Fox. And now they'll work it up the floor. Lindenmeyer will take it in the right corner. Drive. Have it poked free, and they're going to say it'll be off of Lindenmeyer. So just a little bit under 30 seconds here. Millwood will get a chance to get the lead as we go into the second quarter. This time bringing it up is Zon Williams, who is leading the Falcons in scoring with 8. They'll throw it over and find Chris Clay, who will give it over to Barrett. Now Dominic Witch will drive, hit a jumper, and it's no good. And Isaac Fox picks up his third rebound of the game. Him and Reuter have gotten all the rebounds him and Reuter have 6 of the 7 Hayes High rebounds in this quarter. And now Weimer will take it, pick up his dribble, throw it over to Jonathan Cano, try a floater at the buzzer. It would have counted if it went, but it's no good. So at the end of that first quarter of play, Hayes High fell down early by a score of 8-1, but would come back and get the lead up 13-12 as we go into the second quarter. So we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Hayes High School, as we were ready to start up the second quarter, Hayes High leads by a score of 13-12, and they've done pretty well on offense, but the biggest storyline for them is that they've got a couple guys in foul trouble. Trey Oakley has 3 and Kaiser Fox has 2. And overall, they had 17 fouls in that first quarter. Millwood only had 3, with all those fouls coming from Solomon Davis, Dominic Witch, and Zon Williams with 1 each. As Millwood will start this half with the ball, it'll be Isaiah Wilkes, who will now get double-teamed by Weimer and Cano. Throws it up court and finds Chris Clay, who will go all the way to the basket, and it will rim out, no good. Rebounded by, or it goes out of bounds, and it will stay with the Falcons. Millwood made their first 2 shots of the contest, and so far they are 3 for 11 from the field. As they throw it in, it'll be Barrett who will throw it out to Williams. Stand in place, will be guarded by Cano. Hayes High been playing man-to-man the entire tournament. They'll now throw it over to Isaiah Wilkes, who will throw it over to Barrett on the left wing, which will throw it over to Clay, who took 1 dribble and then picked it up. Throws it over. Now Clay will get the ball back, try a 3, and hit it. Chris Clay will be the one getting the assist on that last play as Jack Weimer brings up the floor. And actually, they're going to rule it as just a 2-pointer. So now there will be Kaiser Fox in the lane. Shot no good, off the head of one of the Falcons, and now Moeller tries a 3, and that's no good. And the Falcons will bring it up the floor and get called for the foul. Amari Barrett picked up that rebound, and when Hayes High got the second chance at the basket, Isaac Fox picked up his team-high 4th. But we're going to get a foul now against Kaiser Fox, who now has his 3rd. Going back to the line is Zon Williams for the Falcons, as his first shot will go up. It's good. Millwood with yet to miss a free throw in this contest. They're 5 for 5 at the line, and they'll get a chance at one more. As Williams will take a couple dribbles. His shot is up and needed to bounce off the glass for it to go in, and it does. And it'll be 13-16 Falcons. Williams into double figures with 10. As It goes over to Cano from Weimer. The Falcons now putting a lot of pressure on the Indians. Cano will drive, find Muller, right corner for three, connects. And now Falcons don't waste any time as they'll go up the court, and it will go out of bounds against Hayes High. Inbounding it, Isaiah Wilkes will take the inbound and throw it up court. Barrett thought about a three, and now will throw it out for Chris Clay, who will get another three. Barrett picks up his first assist of the game. Jack Weimer will get double teamed on the full court press. Cano will throw it up court and have it stolen by Chris Clay. And now they'll go up the floor. Barrett will get the bucket and will get an and one. They'll call the foul against Jonathan Cano, picking up his first. Hayes High has committed a lot of fouls in this first half, and now Millwood 6 for 6 for the line will now try for 7 for 7, and it's good. It'll be Cano who brings up the floor, gets double teamed, and there's going to be a jump ball as the arrow is towards the Indians. They'll keep possession with 5:49 to go here in the second quarter. Cano inbounding, and will inbound it intended for Jack Weimer, but he has to throw it to Dawson Reuter as he was guarded by Chris Clay. Weimer tries a three, no good, rebounded by Cano. And now Muller will throw it out to Cano. He'll give it over to Weimer, throws it inside to Reuter, who has it poked free and stolen by Chris Clay, picking up his second. And going all the way up the floor is Isaiah Wilkes, who will get the basket to fall, and we're going to get a timeout from Hayes High. So or actually we're not going to get a timeout. I think they're going to say that Wilkes was fouled on that last play. Or no, actually, I think we might have gotten a technical against Millwood, so Jack Weimer will go to the line and shoot some free throws. As his first one is up, it goes through. Weimer will attempt his second free throw, and that's good as well. Both teams have shot really well from the free throw line so far. Millwood has yet to miss at 7 for 7. Hayes High 4 for 5. As Hayes High takes possession, with those free throws, they cut the lead down to they cut the lead down to the Falcons to just 6. It'll be Weimer with the ball, throws it over to Isaac Fox on the left wing, throws it over to Cano, top of the arc, over to Weimer on the right wing. He'll drive on the baseline, try a floater, can't hit it, and rebounded by Chris Clay of the Falcons. He'll go up the floor. It'll be Clay who takes it and gives it over to Williams. He'll drive, find a wide open Dominic Witch who can't hit it, and we're going to get a foul against Millwood. They will call it on Dominic Witch as he picks up his second. Muller will inbound, and we're going to get a substitution. As for Witch, that was his second, and coming in place of him will be the 6'4" freshman, number 35, Braylon Bradshaw. As Weimer goes up court, he'll give it over to Jonathan Cano. Throws it up court, finds a wide open Dawson Reuter, who will then be guarded by Chris Clay. Back to Cano, takes one dribble, three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebounded by Edwin Muller. And as Hayes High works the ball around a little bit, it'll be Isaac Fox on the right corner. Reuter will take it, try to go in but can't, and has the ball stolen from him, but I think we will get a foul called against Millwood. It will go against Zon Williams, picking up his second. 15th foul of the half for the Falcons. And coming in will be the 6'3" sophomore, number 10, Kelston Young, in place of Zon Williams, who has 2 fouls. So Millwood has both of their leading foulers on the bench as Edwin Muller takes the inbound. He'll take one dribble, shot on the way, no good, and rebounded by Braylon Bradshaw. Millwood goes up floor, taken by Chris Clay. Gives it over to Amari Barrett as they work it around the arc. Over to Isaiah Wilson, the freshman just checked in. And over to Amari Barrett on the left wing. They'll continue to work it around the arc. 4:07 to go here in the first half. It'll be Chris Clay with the ball over to Amari Barrett. Being guarded by Muller, he'll drive, throw it back to Clay, who will try another three-pointer and can't hit it that time, and rebounded by Isaac Fox, and we're going to get a foul against the Falcons. As Fox was pushed a little as he went for the rebound. It'll be called on Kelston Young, picking up his first. As Muller inbounds it in the backcourt is Weimer and Cano, and he'll throw it to Weimer off the screen from Cano. Weimer up the floor will throw it to Cano, and now he'll give it to Muller, who gives it over to Fox. Will try the layup, and it's good. As Millwood brings it up the floor, it'll be a fadeaway shot from Chris Clay, who connects on it. And now Cano will throw it up court to Dawson Reuter, who'll go all the way down and get another and one. Dawson Reuter was wide open down the court, and Cano threw a baseball pass to him. And now Reuter will go to the line and shoot a couple. They'll call the foul against Braylon Bradshaw, who jumped to make the block, but kind of got Reuter from behind, and Reuter has a chance to cut the lead down to just one possession. As Muller comes out of the game, we'll see Lindenmeyer check back in. And Reuter will attempt his free throw. As he looks up, he'll take the shot, no good. Rebounded by Amari Barrett of the Falcons. As they'll stand, it'll be Adrian Anderson-Nelson with the ball. He'll throw it over to Wilkes. And throw it over to Barrett, who will stand in place for a second, let the offense stand up, and now will drive. Throw it out to Anderson-Nelson, who will go in. Throw it out to Clay, who will drive, find an open man, and it's blocked by Isaac Fox. Coming out with the rebound will be Dawson Reuter, and now Cano will try a jumper. That's no good. Rebounded by Isaiah Wilkes of the Falcons, picking up his first. Anderson-Nelson will drive and get fouled, and I think they're going to say it's on the floor, and that is what it will be. They'll be called on Cooper Lindenmeyer, picking up his second. Hayes High now up to 10 team fouls in this first half, and we have 2:35 to go here in the first half. Anderson-Nelson will go to the line and have the first missed free throw of the game for Millwood. With that miss, they're now 7 for 8, and he'll have a chance to redeem himself with his second one. He'll take a couple dribbles and then an extra one, try the free throw, and it's good. Millwood up by 5 after the free throw. Weimer brings up the floor for Hayes High. And he'll pick up his dribble, being guarded tightly over to Lindenmeyer on the right wing. Will look, trying to find anybody to throw it to. Has his pass deflected and stolen by Isaiah Wilson. He'll go down court, and Amari Barrett will score once again. Weimer will once again bring it up the floor for Hayes High. Exactly 2 minutes to go here in the first half. He'll drive, get a screen from Isaac Fox, throw it out to Cano, who throws it over his head right into the Millwood bench. As they inbound it, it'll be Isaiah Wilkes taking up the floor off the inbound for number 12, Anderson-Nelson. Wilkes will drive, being guarded by Cano and Lindenmeyer. And now he lost his dribble, will pick it up, try throwing it out to Kelston Young, but instead it will go out of bounds, and Hayes High will retain possession, or regain possession. Weimer will walk it up the floor with 1:30 to go here in the first half. We'll get a screen from Isaac Fox and drive towards that left side. We'll try to go all the way to the hoop. Instead, we'll throw it to Jonathan Cano in the right corner. Now drives, try to throw it to Reuter, and instead we'll get it stolen from Wilkes. And he'll go all the way down the floor against Weimer. Layup good, but they're going to get a foul call on the floor against Weimer. It will be Weimer's first and the 11th team foul for Hayes High. They called it on the floor, so Wilkes will be the one inbounding, and Mueller will check back into the game in place of Jonathan Cano, who has so far picked up a rebound and 2 assists. Mueller also getting a rebound and assist of his own, as well as a steal, and has 6 points so far. As they inbound it to Anderson Nelson, he'll be guarded by Isaac Fox. Will throw it out to Isaiah Wilson, who will take a couple steps back and give it over to Isaiah Wilkes. Being guarded by Weimer, looking for someone to throw to. Will now dribble and take a couple steps back over to Anderson Nelson. Throws it over to Kelston Young. Amari Barrett pump fakes the 3 and was intending to throw it to Isaiah Wilkes in that left corner, but threw it over his head into the stands. Hayes High will get it back. And Weimer will take it off the inbound from Mueller. It'll be a full court press from Millwood as Isaiah Wilson tightly guards Weimer. He'll get bumped into and will pick up his dribble, and we're going to get a push foul against Millwood as Weimer fell to the floor. He'll get picked up by his teammates, and they'll call it on Isaiah Wilson picking up his first. It's the 7th team foul for the Falcons, and Weimer's going to go to the line and shoot a couple free throws. There's 4 points, 2 of which coming off of free throws, and Hayes High as a team is 4 for 6 from the line. As he takes 3 dribbles, his shot will go up, and it's good. Five points now for Weimer, and we're going to get a substitution. Checking back in is Chris Clay, and Weimer's second free throw is good. Millwood will go up the floor. They didn't waste any time. We got 44 seconds on the clock. Anderson Nelson throws it over to Wilson. And he'll be guarded by Weimer, get a screen, and will now try a 3-pointer on the way, and it's good. Isaiah Wilson with his first basket of the game from 3-point range. It'll be Weimer with 18 seconds on the clock. Thought about driving it in, and instead will be double teamed. And now we're going to get another foul against Millwood, this time against Isaiah Wilkes, picking up his first. He doesn't agree with the call as he looked towards his bench, but Weimer will go back to the line and attempt some more free throws. As he'll take 3 dribbles. His shot is up and good. Hayes High now 7 for 9 from the free throw line. And Weimer getting the last 3 points for Hayes High, all of which off of free throws. As he gets ready for his second one, that's good as well. As Millwood runs up the floor, they got 10 seconds on the clock. Reverse layup from Isaiah Wilkes brings his total up to 5. And now Hayes High will have 1 second on the clock. Edwin Mueller with a long 3 would have counted if it gone, but it's no good. So as we go to the half, it is Hayes High 26, Millwood 34. And when we come back, we'll have our halftime show where we will recap the scoring of that first half and give you some individual and team stats, and we should have the second half ready to start up after that. So we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Hayes High School as Hayes High trails Millwood by a score of 34-26 after the Falcons scored 22 points in the second quarter to get the lead. And to start off our halftime show, we will recap the first half scoring. And Hayes High would get the first points off of a Dawson Reuter free throw, but then after getting 2 3-pointers, Millwood would score 8 points and go up 8-1, but Hayes High wouldn't go away as they'd score a couple baskets, including a three-pointer from Edwin Muller and some free throws to make it 9-9. And going into the second quarter, they had a 13-12 lead after getting a couple baskets, one from Dawson Reuter and the other from Jack Weimer. And then the Falcons would score 4 straight points, and Hayes High would then be able to tie it at 16-all. And then Millwood would go on an 8-0 run, which would be ended by a couple free throws from Jack Weimer. And then Hayes High would get a Kaiser Fox bucket an Isaac Fox bucket to make the score 24-20. And once the score, after Millwood got up to a 29-22 lead after a Chris Clay bucket, Hayes High would answer with a couple more free throws, and Millwood would finish with a three-pointer from Isaiah Wilson and a layup from Isaiah Wilkes, and Hayes High would get a couple more free throws from Jack Weimer. So when we come back, we'll have our individual and team stats for the first half, and we'll get some score updates if those are available. So we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Hayes High School on the halftime show, we will now give you our individual and team numbers for that first half, starting off with Hayes High scoring. Leading the way there is Jack Weimer and Dawson Reuter, each with 8, and Edwin Muller will be right behind him with 6, and Isaac Fox picking up 2. Now looking over at Millwood, leading the way for them in double figures is number 1, Zon Williams with 10. Isaiah Wilkes and Amari Barrett and Chris Clay would each finish with 5. Number 12, Adrian Anderson Nelson would finish with 4. And Dominic Witch would pick up 2, and Isaiah Wilson would pick up 3. Now looking at Hayes High's other individual stats, we'll go down the list with Edwin Muller picking up a rebound, an assist, and a steal, and Jonathan Cano picking up a rebound and 2 assists. Trey Oakley would get 1 rebound, and Weimer would pick up 2 steals. Isaac Fox is leading the way in rebounds for Hayes High with 5, as well as getting an assist and a block. He's the only Hayes High Indian to get a block in the game. And Dawson Reuter finishes the first half with 4 rebounds. And looking over at Millwood, Zon Williams picked up a steal, and so did Isaiah Wilkes. Isaiah Wilkes actually picked up 2, as well as an assist and a rebound. And Amari Barrett would pick up 2 rebounds, 2 steals, and an assist. And Chris Clay would finish with a rebound, an assist, and 2 steals. And finally, Adrian Anderson Nelson would pick up 2, and Braylon Bradshaw would pick up 1 rebound. And looking over at our team stats here at the half, starting with Hayes High, they went 7 for 19 from the field, going 2 for 7 from three-point range, and 8 for 10 at the free throw line, which has been the specialty for both teams in that first half. Hayes High would pick up 12 rebounds altogether, as well as get 4 assists, 3 steals, and a block. And for Millwood, they went 8 for 20 from the field at 5 for 10 from three-point range, and 8 for 9 from the free throw line, while getting 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 7 steals. So that'll do it for our halftime show, and when we come back, we'll have our second half action. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Hayes High School, we are now ready to start up the second half, and Hayes High will go with their starters on the floor, but we will note 2 of them are in foul trouble, Trey Oakley and Kaiser Fox, each with 3. And also on the floor, it's Jack Weimer, Edwin Muller, and Dawson Reuter. And on the floor for the Falcons, they'll keep their starters of Zon Williams, Isaiah Wilkes, Amari Barrett, Adrian Anderson Nelson, and Solomon Davis. As Wilkes will walk it up the floor, he'll be guarded by Weimer, and now throw it over to Nelson. In the corner, finds Zon Williams, three-pointer on the way, no good, and it will be rebounded by Barrett. And he'll throw it out, and Barrett will now try another 3. That one no good. That one rebounded by Trey Oakley. Hayes High will go up the floor. Jack Weimer being tightly guarded by Barrett. He'll now drive, throw it out. Edwin Muller, left wing 3, goes in and then goes out. He'll be rebounded by Zon Williams, and he'll go up the floor and get fouled by Kaiser Fox, picking up his 4th. First foul of the half for either team, and Fox now comes out of the game, and coming in is Isaac Fox. It'll be Isaiah Wilkes inbounding, looking for someone to throw to, and we'll find underneath the basket, we'll find Anderson Nelson, who will get the basket and 1, being fouled by Dawson Reuter. It'll actually be called on Jack Weimer who picks up the second team foul of the half for Hayes High. As Nelson will attempt his free throw, it's good. It's now 26-37 with the Falcons in front. That last free throw now makes them 90% from the line at 9 for 10. As Oakley will bring up the floor, he'll give it over to Muller, picks up his dribble, throws it inside to Reuter. Will do some dribbles, go underneath the basket. Shot's no good, but he is fouled by number 24 of the Falcons, Solomon Davis, who will pick up his second. Like we said on that halftime show, both teams have been very successful from the free throw line. Hayes High 8 for 10. We'll try to go for 10 for 12 here with Reuter at the line. As he takes a couple dribbles, he looks at the basket for a second and will take the free throw, and it's good. This next free throw can put Reuter into double figures. As he'll take 3 and an extra. His shot is up and good. It'll be Barrett bringing up the floor for the Falcons. He'll throw it over to Nelson and over to Williams as they just work it around the arc. Takes a dribble, and now we'll throw it to Isaiah Wilkes at the top of the arc. He'll take some steps back, being guarded by Muller. And now Muller thought about going in for the steal. They'll get a screen from Dominic Witch. Wilkes will take a step back. Nelson drives into the corner, finds Amari Barrett. Pump fakes a 3, and it's on the way. No good, but rebounded by Dawson Reuter, and we're going to get a foul called on Reuter, saying he pushed off. So it'll be the third team foul of the half for Hayes High, as inbounding will be Isaiah Wilkes. He'll look and throw it over to Barrett, who will stand in place, and now will go towards the left side. Hands it off to Wilkes, who is being guarded by Isaac Fox. Will stand in place and dribble for a second, and will go towards the left wing. Gives it over to Nelson, back to Wilkes, who now goes to the right wing. Those two just working back and forth, and now Nelson will drive, do a move, and will get the layup to fall. Millwood now 10 for 25 from the field as Jack Weimer will bring up the floor and get fouled by Amari Barrett. As Weimer made a move, Barrett put his hand out while defending and gets the foul call. Second team foul for the Falcons. And it'll be Oakley inbounding it to Weimer. Gets the screen from Reuter, and now we'll work towards that left side, and we'll go with a layup off, and it's no good, but it hit the wire above the basket, and it will be Millwood ball. As Nelson inbounds it to Wilkes, he'll walk up the floor past the midcourt line, and he'll drive, being guarded by Isaac Fox, and will stop and come back out. And now will drive once again, does some moves, looking for someone to throw it to, and will find Zon Williams, who will try a three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebounded by Solomon Davis, who will get fouled. It'll be called on Reuter for his third. So that now makes it 3 Hayes High players that are in foul trouble. Reuter with 3, Kaiser Fox with 4, and Oakley with 3. As Wilkes will inbound it, he'll find Nelson, who will do some moves, and Isaac Fox comes out with another rebound. As they go up the floor, it'll be up to Jack Weimer, and he'll get the layup. Second Hayes High Indian to get into double figures. Hayes High now 8 for 22 from the field. Williams will drive, pick up his dribble, and now we'll pass it out to Amari Barrett. He'll work around a little bit, being guarded by Muller. And we'll work towards the left, give it over to Zon Williams. As he looks for someone to throw to, we'll find Dominic Witch, as they're just working around the arc. Wilkes will try a 3 and then get fouled by, I believe it was Jack Weimer who's going to get called for it, and that is who it will be. Third foul for him, and the 4th Hayes High player to have at least 3 fouls in this contest. And it's 4 of the 5 Hayes High starters. The only other one is Edwin Muller, who doesn't have a single foul in this game. So Isaiah Wilkes will go to the line and shoot a couple. Millwood 9 for 10 from the line as this one is up. That's good as well. As Wilkes will get ready to attempt his second free throw to make this an 11-point game. That's good as well. And it will be, he was fouled on a three-pointer, so he'll get a third free throw to try to go to give his team a 12 for 13 stat, but that one's no good and rebounded by Dawson Reuter. He threw it to Jack Weimer as soon as he got the rebound. And Weimer will be double teamed as he gets ready to cross the half-court line. Will go up all the way to the basket. Layup, no good, and rebounded by Anderson Nelson. It'll be no good by Zon Williams, and the rebound will be from Trey Oakley. He'll go up the floor, throw it over to Muller. Left corner, three on the way, no good, but rebound, and it will be rebounded by the Falcons. Hayes High just 2 for 9 from three-point range as Williams does a couple moves, gets a lucky bounce off the glass, and it will go, and the shot will go. 30-43, Falcons in front, and Oakley was in the corner and got trapped by 3 Millwood players, and Sean Dreiling will call the timeout. So we'll step away as they talk things over. Again, Hayes High trails Millwood by a score of 43-30 with 4:05 to play here in the third quarter. This is Hayes High basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Following the timeout, Hayes High will take over on their side of the court, and it's Trey Oakley who will be the one inbounding. Again, Hayes High trails 43-30 with 4:05 to play here in the third quarter. As the refs get ready to start the game back up, Hayes High will go with with all their guys in the paint, and Weimer will come out and get the ball. And he'll throw it over to Oakley, who gives it to Reuter, and they're just working around the arc. Weimer will try a wide open three from the left wing. That's no good. Rebounded by Zon Williams of the Falcons. As they'll go up the floor, it'll be Anderson Nelson who gets the shot to go. As Hayes High goes up the floor, Muller finds Weimer all the way to the basket. Layup no good, rebounded by Reuter, who will get fouled on the way up and go to the line. Hayes High has missed their last 5 shots from the field. And Reuter has a chance to break a scoring drought for Hayes High as Millwood scored the last 6 points of the contest. Reuter's first free throw is good. Reuter up to 11 points with that free throw and has a chance to give Hayes High a stat line of 84% from the field as his second free throw is good. And now Weimer will come out with the steal, throw it over to Isaac Fox, and layup no good. And it will be number 23, Dominic Witch, who will now go to the other end of the floor and score for the Falcons. Hayes High trying to create something, and Reuter underneath the basket, can't score, but will be called for a foul. Or will get fouled, correction. As Cano inbounds it, they'll call it on number 23, Dominic Witch, picking up his third of the game. It's the 4th team foul of the half for the Falcons as Weimer will take the inbound and give it over to Fox. Muller has it on the left wing, throws it inside to Reuter, has it poked free and stolen by Zon Williams, his second of the game. And now Falcons looking to score again. Nelson thought about trying a 3. Instead, we'll give it over to Isaiah Wilkes. As he sets up his offense, bringing it back near midcourt. Hayes High will get a substitution in a moment, and so will Millwood. As they work it around, Wilkes to the basket. Now we'll throw it out in the corner. Zon Williams thought about trying a 3. Instead, will go in, miss the shot, and Jack Weimer will get his first rebound of the game. And now all the way to the other end of the floor, Edwin Muller. Isaac Fox will have his shot blocked by number 12, Anderson Nelson. And now another shot, no good. And Jonathan Cano will finish it off with a three. As at the other end, it'll be Dominic Witch who gets the layup to bring his total up to 6, and we're going to get a foul against Hayes High. That's Reuter's fourth personal foul of the game, making it 2 Hayes High players in that with 4 fouls. And because of that, Reuter will come out of the game, and Witch will get a chance to bring the lead for Millwood up to 15 with 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. As he takes a couple dribbles, the shot is up and no good, and rebounded by Isaac Fox. Despite the miss, Millwood has shot really well from the free throw line, 11 for 14, as Cano will go all the way to the basket, throw it over to Isaac Fox, who will give it to Kaiser, and they're going to say it's off Cooper Lindenmeyer, as it was deflected by Amari Barrett, so Millwood will take over. And we'll get the substitutions into the game for, it'll be Kelston Young and Chris Clay for Millwood, and for Hayes High, it's Trey Oakley. As they go up the floor, it'll be Anderson Nelson throwing it into Amari Barrett, being guarded by Lindenmeyer. Will pump fake, throw it out, find Isaiah Wilson, and we'll give it over to Clay. Working it around is Nelson, and back to Clay. He'll go as they'll just work it around in the backcourt. Nelson with it on the right wing, gives it back to Young, still working it around the arc a little bit, and now Barrett will drive, and we're going to get a foul against Cooper. I believe they're going to call it against Cooper Lindenmeyer, who's guarding Barrett as he drove in. That's Lindenmeyer's third. Hayes High now with 5 different players to have at least 3 fouls, and we mentioned a second ago 4 of which are starters. As Amari Barrett will attempt the 15th free throw for the Falcons, it's no good. And we'll get ready to attempt the second one. He'll take 2 dribbles as the shot goes up. That one's no good as well, rebounded by Kaiser Fox. And he'll give it over to Cano, is being pressured by Wilson. As he'll go up the floor, looking for someone to throw to as he picked up his dribble. Finds Kaiser Fox near midcourt. He'll go up the floor, find Cano on the right wing. Will drive to the hoop, does a spin move but lost the dribble. Over to Oakley, who'll give it over to Fox. Go towards that left side, and will lose the dribble. And it's picked up by Isaac Fox, who will go all the way and get the layup. Hayes High now 10 for 30 from the field with that last layup. As Millwood will go to the basket, it will be number 10, Kelston Young, who will get the 2-pointer to fall. And we're going to get a timeout from the Falcons, so we'll step away as they talk things over. There's 37 seconds to go until we reach the fourth quarter. This is Hayes High basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. After the Millwood timeout, it'll be Hayes High ball as they trail 51-37. After both teams have exchanged points back and forth, it was 45-32 Millwood, and they would score again, and then Hayes High, then Millwood, then Hayes High, and then Millwood. So it'll be Oakley inbounding with 37 seconds until we reach the fourth quarter. Cano will try to go all the way to the basket, get fouled, and will miss the layup, but will go to the line and shoot 2. It'll be called on Isaiah Wilson, picking up his second. 15 foul for Millwood, and Cano will have a chance to get his 4th and 5th point with 2 free throws. As that shot is up, it's good. Hayes High has shot really well from the free throw line, 13 for 15 after that last one, as Cano tries to make it 14 for 16. And that one's good as well. It's 39-51 Millwood in front with 27 seconds to go until we reach the fourth quarter, as they'll get full court press from Hayes High. Millwood will give it up to Chris Clay, who will try a shot, and that one's no good, as it'll go out of bounds. And actually, it'll be Chris Clay who gets the rebound, and they'll take it back to the backcourt. 10 seconds on the clock. Wilson being pressured by Cano, and Cano will force a double dribble. 9 seconds on the clock. Hayes High trying to cut it down to either 10 or 9 before we reach the fourth quarter. Lindenmeyer will inbound. Cano will take it. 7 seconds. He'll be double teamed going down the floor. 5 seconds. We'll try throwing it up to Isaac Fox, who will. The ball actually went out of bounds as we have 2 seconds on the clock. Millwood thinking they got it, but Hayes High will keep it. And Cano will try a shot from the left corner. Good if it goes, and it's off the back iron and no good. So after there was an exchange of points, Hayes High will get 2 free throws at the end of that half to cut the lead down to 12. It's 51-39 Millwood as we go into the fourth quarter. This is Hayes High basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Hayes High School as we get set to bring you the final 8 minutes of the third place game of the boys' side of the bracket. It will be Millwood 51, Hayes High 39. Hayes High has 2 guys in double figures with Jack Weimer and Dawson Reuter putting up 12. And for Millwood, also 2 guys in double figures, Adrian Anderson-Nelson with 11 and Zon Williams leading the way with 12. As Mueller will inbound it, the fourth quarter is underway and Weimer will walk it up the floor. He'll throw it over to Kaiser Fox, who was in foul trouble with 4. Back to Weimer, who lost the ball, and it will go back to Millwood. As inbounding it will be Chris Clay. He'll throw it up to Isaiah Wilkes, who will be double teamed on the full court press by Fox and Weimer, and they have a wide open man on the other side of the court. It's Solomon Davis who gets the layup to go. No one inside. He had no trouble making that one. And at the other end of the floor, it will be Isaac Fox at the other end. Hayes High will continue the full court press. And Isaiah Wilkes threw it up the court, and now we'll get it back from Solomon Davis. Again, it's 41-53. As Wilkes will keep the ball. We're a minute into the fourth quarter. He's being tightly guarded by Weimer. Work towards that left wing. And we're going to get a 5-second violation against Millwood, and Hayes High will get it back. It'll be Kaiser Fox inbounding. Gives it into Weimer. As he'll walk it up the floor, being guarded by Wilkes. He'll now try to get past him. Stop. And now we'll pick up his dribble inside. Throws it inside to Kaiser Fox, who is looking. Will drive. Does a spin move. Layup. No good. And rebounded by Davis of the Falcons. And they're going to get, it's going to be out of bounds against, or Millwood loses it out of bounds, and Hayes High gets it back. It'll be Weimer inbounding. Hayes High will go with their usual inbound play of 4 across the baseline. And Weimer will throw it into Oakley, who will give it over to back to Weimer in the left corner. We'll dribble a little bit, get past his man, go to the basket, and we'll get fouled on the way up. And it'll be the 16th foul of the half for the Falcons, and they're going to call it on number 3, Amari Barrett, picking up his second. Weimer will once again go to the free throw line. Like we said, Hayes High shot really well, 14 for 16 with a chance to make it 16 for 18 here. As that first one is up, it is good. Weimer up to 13 points now. As he takes his couple dribbles, he'll put the shot up, and it's good. It cuts the Millwood lead down to just 10. As Weimer goes up to 14 points in the contest, they'll get full court press from Hayes High. Wide open man. It'll be Solomon Davis, who tries a 3 and buries it. And now we're going to get a steal from the Falcons. I believe it was Solomon Davis that came out with it. As he'll hand it off, he'll give it back to Wilkes, who will take some steps back. And we're going to get a foul against Jack Weimer, picking up his 4th. It's the 7th team foul of the half now for Hayes High. with 3 players with 4 fouls. And they're all starters as well. Jack Weimer, Kaiser Fox, and Dawson Reuter. And Weimer will stay on the floor, and so will Kaiser Fox. So Millwood will inbound it with 6:06 to play. As they throw it in, it's poke free, and we're going to get a push call against, I believe they're going to give it on Edwin Muller, who came in and tried to make an attempt at the steal. And that's his first foul of the contest. As Millwood will inbound it, they'll get defense from Fox and Weimer. And, Isaac Fox will come in and get his first steal of the game. He'll throw it up the court to Weimer, who will stop and look for someone to throw it to, and now will dribble it. Being guarded by Williams. He'll drive, throw it over to Edwin Muller in the left corner, pump fake the 3, and now will get the ball stolen from Isaiah Wilkes. A lot of fans wanting a foul on the play. And it'll be Chris Clay going to the basket, throws it over to Zon Williams, right corner. Layup is no good and rebounded by Isaac Fox. Lead stays high in rebound so far in this contest. Edwin Muller, left wing 3 is no good. And Hayside now 3 for 13 from 3-point range with that last shot, 11 for 34 overall from the field. As it went out of bounds, it will be Millwood ball. And a lot of people, or actually the rest were going to talk something over, but they both agreed on the call. And it'll be an inbound from, and now Edwin Muller steps in front of Isaiah Wilkes and commits his second foul of the game. As we have 5:24 to go, it's Millwood 56, Hayside 43. We'll get the inbound from Chris Clay as Trey Oakley is in his face. Oakley actually almost batted it away as it was inbounded to Isaiah Wilkes. And he'll bring it up the floor across the midcourt line and will stand in place and give it, and they'll move it around the arc again. As it'll be Davis driving, he'll give it over, find Chris Clay, who will try a 3-pointer. That's no good, and rebounded by Williams, and he'll get the putback. It's 58-43 Millwood as Jack Weimer's bringing it up the floor. He'll try to make some moves against Wilkes, and we're going to get a hold against, or a blocking foul against the Falcons. They'll call it on number 2, Isaiah Wilkes. That's his second. Or actually, correction, no, it's his third foul. As he is the second Millwood player to reach the 3-foul mark in this game. It'll be Weimer taking the inbound now. As he'll drive against Nelson, took a step back, and will throw it over to Cano. Works towards the left a little bit, and we'll give it back to Weimer. Weimer drives all the way to the basket. Layup is going to roll in and out, but we're going to get a foul, and he'll get to shoot 2 more free throws. He'll get it on number 24, Solomon Davis, picking up his third. And they'll now say it's actually Davis's 4th team foul. So Weimer will get a chance to make Hayside. If he can make both of these, Hayside will be 90% from the free throw line. As his first one is up, it will take a couple bounces and go in. Weimer up now to 15 points with that last free throw. As his second one is up, it's nothing but net. And we're going to get a substitution now from Millwood as Dominic Witch will check back into the game. Hayside trails by 13 with 4:26 to go. And they'll go down the court, and it will be a 3-pointer from Nelson. It's no good. Rebounded by Trey Oakley. As he'll be the one taking it up, he'll throw inside to Dawson Reuter. Does some moves, goes up with the layup. It's no good. Rebounded by Jonathan Cano. As he'll go up to the basket. It's no good. And we're going to get a we're going to get a foul against number 1, Zon Williams, with his third. Both teams with multiple players in foul trouble. Millwood has 1 player with 4, and that's Solomon Davis. Hayes High has 3 players with 4 fouls, which is Weimer, Kaiser Fox, and Reuter. And now Weimer will try a 3 and bury it. Cutting the lead down to just 10. They're going to get a timeout from Millwood, and we'll step away as they talk things over. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Hayes High has made the last 5 points in this fourth quarter to cut the lead down to just 10 for Millwood with 3:57 to go. It's 58-48, and Millwood will get the ball on the inbound here. As they come out of their huddle, it'll be Isaiah Wilkes inbounding. They'll line up with 4 across for their play, and they'll inbound it to Adrian Anderson-Nelson, who gives it back to Wilkes, and they'll go up the floor and find a wide open Dominic Witch, who will stop, give it off to Barrett, and throws it back to Wilkes as he'll throw it over to Williams. Working around on that left wing, he'll take some steps back. 3:40 on the clock, as Williams will lose the ball, but is able to get it back, and we're going to get a timeout from Millwood. It'll be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here for you, and as they talk things over, we'll give you some points updates for each player, starting with Hayes High leading the way there. Jack Weimer, who had 20 points last night, has 19 right now, and Dawson Reuter with 12. Those are the only 2 players in double figures for Hayes High. And Isaac Fox and Edwin Miller both have 6, and Jonathan Cano with 5. And for Millwood, it is Zon Williams leading the way in scoring with 14, and Adrian Anderson-Nelson with 11. Right behind him is Dominic Witch with 6, Solomon Davis and Chris Clay each with 5, and Amari Barrett as well. Isaiah Wilson with 3, and Kelston Young with 2. As the second buzzer sounds, the 2 teams will come out of the huddle, and as Hayes High comes out, we'll update you who's on the floor. It'll be Jack Weimer, Dawson Reuter, Kaiser Fox, Trey Oakley, and Jonathan Cano. As Millwood's still in their huddle. The ref's still waiting for him, and now they will finally come out. And on the floor for the Falcons, it'll be Dominic Witch, Adrian Anderson-Nelson, Zon Williams, Amari Barrett, and Isaiah Wilkes, and that's who's on the floor for Millwood. As Wilkes takes the inbound, he'll give it over to Barrett. As Fox fell down, he'll get double teamed, and Williams will take it to the basket. Reverse layup is up and good, and they're going to give him an and one. Williams now up to 16 with that last bucket. And they'll call it against Jonathan Cano, who picks up his second. It'll be the 10th foul of the half for Hayes High, 4th of this quarter. And Williams has a chance to make this a 13-point game, as his free throw is good. He's up to 17 as the leading scorer for the Falcons. Weimer's going to be the one bringing it up the floor. He'll try to get past Williams, but can't. Will be double teamed, and we're going to get a push from Dominic Witch, who's now up to 4 fouls. And yes, that is who they'll call the foul against. Both teams have a bunch of players in foul trouble, and we'll update that real fast. For Hayes High, it's Kaiser Fox, Dawson Reuter, and Jack Weimer with 4. Trey Oakley and Cooper Lindenmeyer each have 3. And looking over at Millwood, it'll be Zon Williams and Isaiah Wilkes with 3, and Dominic Witch and Solomon Davis with 4. So once again, it will be Jack Weimer going to the free throw line for Hayes High. They're 18 for 20 from the line as his first shot is up. It's good. Weimer now up to 20, and he'll have a chance to get Hayes High to the 50-point mark right here, as that second free throw is good. It'll be Barrett inbounding inbounding for Millwood, and he'll throw it up court to Wilkes, who is able to get it, and will go to the other end and get the layup. And we're going to get not sure what it was, but Weimer expressing a disagreement with the call, and I think he's going to get called for a technical, and they will not. I don't think they will call technical. Picking up the assist that time was Amari Barrett, and Isaiah Wilkes took it down for the layup. 3:08 to play here in the contest. Millwood 63, Hayes High 50. And now it'll be stolen by Zon Williams, who will take it to the other end and will miss the dunk, and he'll get called for a technical because he swung on the rim during the dunk. So the ref will go over the table, and it will be a technical against Zon Williams. The first technical we've seen from any team in the tournament in a game involving Hayes High. So there's exactly 3 minutes to play. It's Millwood 63, Hayes High 50, and Jack Weimer is going to go to the free throw line once again as he will attempt his first one. It's good. Weimer can bring his total up to 23 with this next free throw, and it rolls in and out. So he'll stay at 22 points, surpassing what he scored last night with 20. And Trey Oakley will be the one inbounding. Hayes High down by 12 with 3 minutes to go. He'll throw it into Jack Weimer, who's being guarded by Isaiah Wilkes. Weimer will go in and throw it to Isaac Fox, who gives it over to Kaiser. Back to Weimer on the left wing, just working around the arc. Muller will have it right now as he'll try driving and pick up his dribble. Back out to Kaiser, who will hand it off to Weimer, who will drive all the way to the basket. Layup, no good. Rebounded by the Falcons' Solomon Davis. And it'll bring it up the floor once again as Wilkes. We'll throw it inside. Barrett all the way to the basket. Will get fouled, and it'll be against Trey Oakley, picking up his fourth. Now all of Hayes High starters, except for Edwin Muller with 2, have 4 personal fouls in this game. And Amari Barrett will go to the free throw line. Has made 1 free throw so far in this game, as the Falcons are 12 for 17 from the line. So he'll shoot 1 of 2 right here. He'll take 2 dribbles, and it is good. And he'll get ready to attempt his second one. And he'll take 2 dribbles and hit that one as well. As Weimer brings up the floor, he'll be guarded by Wilkes, and he'll have to pick up his dribble as he lost his balance. It'll be Reuter working inside over to Edwin Muller. Left corner 3 on the way, in and out, rebounded by Isaac Fox, and he'll get the putback and the and one. So they're going to call the foul against Solomon Davis, and he'll be the first player to foul out in this game for Millwood, and Anderson Nelson will come in to take his spot. And I think we had another player, or no, we didn't. It was Anderson Nelson as the only substitution that came in. Isaac Fox will now attempt the free throw to cut it down to 11. And it bounces off the back iron, and the rebound will go to Millwood had it for a second, but it goes out of bounds. Hayes High will keep possession. And we're going to get a timeout from Hayes High as they retain possession from Millwood, losing it out of bounds. There's 2:01 to play. It's Hayes High 53, Millwood 65. We'll step away and be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. With 2 minutes to play, it's Millwood 65, Hayes High 53. Hayes High will inbound it here after Millwood lost the ball out of bounds. It'll be Trey Oakley inbounding it and looking for someone open. Can't find anyone, and now we'll throw it to Jack Weimer on the left wing, who will take some steps back and find Trey Oakley, who will drive to the basket, get fouled, and layup won't go, but he'll go to the line and shoot a couple. They'll call it on Kelston Young, who will be called for his second. Trey Oakley has yet to put up any points in this contest, but has picked up 4 rebounds so far, and he'll get his first points off of the free throw. As he attempts his second one, he'll take a couple dribbles. That one's good as well. So Oakley with his first 2 points of the game. He'll cut the lead down to 10 with 1:52 to go. As Millwood inbounds it, they'll give it over to Nelson, and he'll throw it over to Barrett. And going up the court is Clay, who will give it back to Barrett. And Hayes High getting a lot of pressure, and Clay had a wide open shot, but instead will dribble in, throw it back to Wilkes, who will throw it over to Barrett as they're I think they're just trying to run out as much time as they possibly can. Williams will take it off of the pass from Wilkes, and we're going to get a foul against Jack Weimer, and he will foul out, as that is his 5th. So he'll finish tonight with with a team high 22 points, as well as pick up a rebound and another team high of 3 steals. As he gets an applause from a round of applause from the home crowd, it'll be Amari Barrett going to the line to shoot a couple free throws for the Falcons. And he'll make his first one. Millwood now 15 for 20 from the line, and Reuter will be checking back in here in a second. He'll go in, or he will go in now for Kaiser Fox. And Barrett will now get ready to attempt his second free throw to make it a 12-point game. As he takes a couple dribbles, it's no good. Rebounded by Dawson Reuter. As it'll be Trey Oakley taking it up the floor. It was Jack Weimer, but like we said, he just fouled out a second ago. It'll be Edwin Muller, left corner 3 on the way. No good. Rebounded by Barrett. And we're going to get a foul against Hayes High's Dawson Reuter, and now he's going to be the second player to foul out. So he'll exit the game with 12 points and 7 rebounds, and coming in will be the senior Kaiser Fox, who is also in foul trouble with 4. And it'll be Isaiah Wilkes attempting a couple free throws for the Falcons. And it went in and then went right out. As Wilkes gets ready to attempt his second one. There's 1:08 to go. Hayes High down by 11. And that one's up and good. And that last free throw will put Wilkes into double figures with 10. As Oakley will take it, he'll give it over to Fox, who gives it to Muller, who gives it to Kaiser. And Isaac will drive, find Cano in the left corner. He'll drive and have it stolen from him by Wilkes, his 4th of the game. And with Hayes High getting full court press, they trail by 12, 42 seconds to go. Millwood will just play keep away and try to drain as much clock as they possibly can. And it'll be Wilkes with the ball now, throws it inside, finds Young, who will throw it out. 30 seconds now on the clock. And this is what Millwood will just do for the remainder of the game. And now it'll go over to Clay, who had an open look. Instead, they'll just keep passing the ball. And Williams will go all the way to the basket and get the layup to go and a foul. We'll call the foul on Trey Oakley, picking up his 5th. And he's now the 3rd starter to foul out for Hayes High. Oakley exits with 2 points and 4 rebounds, and coming in his place will be number 4, Cooper Lindenmeyer. So Williams will get a chance to bring his point total up to 20 with a free throw here. As that one's up, it's good. As Cano brings it up the floor, there's 11 seconds on the clock. He'll throw it inside to Cooper Lindenmeyer. He'll go all the way to the basket. Layup, no good. Rebounded by Chris Clay of the Falcons, and they'll just dribble out the clock. And that will do it. As you hear the buzzer, the final score is Millwood 70, Hayes High 55. So Millwood will get the 3rd place finish, and Hayes High will get the 4th place finish. And we'll talk about more on the post-game show, as we will recap the scoring as well as give you some stats, and we'll bring you the pregame show for the Hayes High girls game after that. So we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Hayes High School on the post-game show as the Indians fall to Millwood by a score of 70-55 to finish 4th in the 41st annual Hayes City Shootout. We'll start off the post-game show by recapping the scoring. Millwood would jump out to an early 8-1 lead, but then Hayes High would cut it down to 6 off after a bucket from Dawson Reuter and a three-pointer from Edwin Muller. And then it would go back and forth a little bit more. Hayes High would jump out to a 13-12 lead to enter the first quarter, and it would be 4 more points from Millwood to make it 13-16. Hayes High would respond with a 3 from Edwin Muller, which is where he got all of his points off of tonight. And then there would be an 8-0 run from Millwood, which would be ended by a couple free throws from Jack Weimer. And then Hayes High would get a bucket from Isaac Fox to cut the lead down to 24-20. And then the two teams exchanged some points, as going into the half it was 26-34 with Millwood in front. They would get the first 2 points of that second half off of 2 free throws from Anderson Nelson, and Hayes High would get 2 more free throws, this time from Dawson Reuter. And it would, after a couple more baskets, it would be a 6 consecutive points from Millwood, and Hayes High would end it with 2 more Dawson Reuter free throws, and the teams would go back and forth exchanging a couple more baskets. And then once the score reached 37-51, it would be Hayes High getting Jonathan Cano. It would be Jonathan Cano hitting a couple free throws, and as the score reached 43-53, Millwood would get another 3-pointer and a bucket, and Hayes High would get some more to make it 48-58. And as Millwood hit a bucket and an and one from Zon Williams, Hayes High would get a couple more free throws from Jack Weimer, and once the score reached 51-65, Hayes High would score their final 4 points from an Isaac Fox jumper and 2 free throws from Trey Oakley, and Millwood would get the final 5 points of the contest. And now we'll give you our final individual stats, starting off with Hayes High. Leading the way in the scoring was Jack Weimer with 22. Right behind him, Dawson Reuter would finish with 12, and Isaac Fox with 8. Edwin Moore would go with 6, and Jonathan Cano with 5, and Trey Oakley would finish with 2. And looking over at Millwood, Zon Williams would finish with 20 points to lead the way there. And right behind him, Anderson Nelson would get 11. Dominic Witch would finish with 6, and Solomon Davis with 5, as well as Chris Clay finishing with 5. And Isaiah Wilson would finish with 3, and Kelston Young with 2. And now looking at Hayes High's other individual numbers, Edwin Muller led the game in, or picked up 1 rebound, as well as 1 assist and a steal. Jonathan Cano would pick up 2 rebounds and 2 assists, and Trey Oakley would pick up 4 rebounds. Jack Weimer would get a rebound, and he would lead Hayes High in steals with 3, and Isaac Fox would pick up a team-high 9 rebounds, as well as getting a block, an assist, and a steal. And Kaiser Fox would pick up 1 rebound, and Dawson Reuter would finish with 7 rebounds. Now looking over at Millwood, they would pick up 3 rebounds and 3 steals, and Isaiah Wilkes would get a rebound of his own as well as an assist, and led the Falcons in steals with 4. Amari Barrett would pick up 4 rebounds and 2 assists and steals. and Chris Clay will pick up 3 rebounds with an assist and 2 steals. And finally, finishing it off will be Anderson Nelson with 5 rebounds, and Solomon Davis with 3, as well as a steal, and Braylon Bradshaw with a rebound. So we'll step away for a moment, and when we come back, we'll have our pregame show for the Hayes High girls game as they get ready to take on the Olathe West Owls. So we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Hayes High School as the Hayes High Lady Indians get ready to take on the Olathe West Owls in the championship game of the girls' side of the Hayes City Shootout bracket. Before we run down each team, we did not read off the final team numbers for Hayes High and Millwood the game before, so we'll do that real fast. Hayes High would finish going 13 for 42 from the field and 4 for 17 from three-point range, as well as going 23 for 27 from the free throw line. And they finished with 24 rebounds with 12 in each half, as well as getting 4 assists and 5 steals and a block. And for Millwood, they would go 21 for 45 from the field at 6 for 17 from three-point range and 17 for 24 from the free throw line, while picking up 20 rebounds and 4 assists, as well as 12 steals. So now we'll preview the Hayes High Lady Indians game against the Olathe West Owls. Starting off with Hayes High, they're off to a 2-0 start after getting a big upset win over the over the third-ranked team in 6A, the Washburn Rural Junior Blues, by a score of 34-27. The Junior Blues would have their only lead of the contest at the very beginning, 2-0, as it was a great defensive battle. So once Hayes High took an 8-5 lead off of a three-pointer to break a 5-5 tie, it would be the last tie of the game. And after holding Washburn Rural to just 2 points in the second quarter, Hayes High would lead at halftime by a score of 20-9. And Hayes High led by 13 points early in the fourth quarter, but the Junior Blues went on a 10-0 run to cut the deficit down and make the score 30-27. And Hayes High would make 4 free throws in the final minute to secure the victory by a score of 34-27. So the Lady Indians will be going for their 6th Hayes City Shootout title tonight, and their next game will be on Tuesday against the Manhattan Indians here at Hayes High School. Now looking at the Olathe West Owls, they are 2-0 after getting a blowout win in the first round against Hugoton by a score of 71-12, and then they defeated Millwood by a score of 63-47. And they've been to the championship game of the Shootout 3 out of the 4 times they competed in it, but have never won. So they'll look to get that first win and then get set for their next game, which is in 6 days on Friday at home against the Shawnee Mission South Raiders. So that'll do it for our pregame show, and when we come back, we will have our starting lineups and then our first half action. So we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Hayes High School, we are about ready to tip off the championship game of the Hayes City Shootout of the girls bracket. As they are currently reading off the starting lineups, we will do the same, starting off with the visiting Olathe West Owls out of the Sunflower League. They'll go with 3 seniors, a junior, and a sophomore, starting with 5'3", standing at 5'3", and number 0, Hannah Cooley, wearing number 4, senior at 5'11", Emma Thomas. Number 14 will be Scarlett Swinford, the 5'10" senior, and finishing out will be number 22, Emma Sales at 5'10", and number 25, Jessica Borders at 5'11". And meanwhile, for Hayes High, they will go with the same starters that they've had all tournament, which will be junior number 10, Katie Lindenberger, junior number 11, Molly Martin, and Kenley Winter, also a junior wearing number 12. And to finish off the juniors of the starting 5 is number 30, Riley Dreher, and to finish it off is number 44, Zoe Winter, the sophomore. So the 2 teams will take the floor, and we'll give you a uniform description before we start. Hayes High was going to wear the all whites with the maroon numbers and with the gold outline with the Indians text across the front, and maroon stripes on the neck, shoulders, and the pants. And for Olathe West, they will go all blue with gray numbers and black outline with West across the front, and black stripes on the side with their basketball logo, which features an O and a W on the stripes. So as the 2 teams take the floor, it'll be Katie Lindenberger tipping for Hayes High, and for Olathe West, it will be number 25, Jessica Borders. As the ref is set, he won't dribble the ball. He'll just tip it right away, and it will go towards the Owls. Bringing it up the floor is Cooley, wearing number 0. She'll work towards that right wing, and now will fire Emma Sales. Her three-pointer, no good. Rebound by Molly Martin. As she brings up the floor, she'll give it to Zoe Winter, who gives it to Kinley Winter on the left wing. Will move towards the right and give it to Riley Dreher, who had it poked free for a second from Emma Sales. Martin will take it and work back towards that left side. And she'll hand it over to Dreher. And she'll drive, throw it inside to Lindenberger, who has it stolen by Borders. And now we're going to get a steal from Dreher, who throws it inside. Lindenberger, layup, no good. And it'll be Owl ball. It's Emma Sales, and she'll go down and get the two. So Emma Sales gets the first points of the game, as Molly Martin will now try a left wing three. It's off the mark, rebounded by Kinley Winter, as she'll go. She had it stolen from her by Scarlett Swinford, but she stepped out of bounds, and Hayes High will keep possession. Hayes High 0 for 2 from the field to start this game, but they'll try to get their first points right here as Riley Dreher will inbound. She'll look for someone open. She'll find Zoe Winter from beyond the arc. She'll move inside, try a layup, no good. Gets her own miss, gets the putback, and it goes. So Zoe Winter will get the first points of the game for the Indians on the putback, and Olathe West will move up the floor. We're going to get a foul against the Indians. I believe they're going to call it against Riley Dreher, as that is who it will be. She'll have the first foul of the contest. As we have 6:32 to go, we're tied up at 2. As it'll be inbounded from Cooley to Thomas. It'll be Emma Sales, who gets her second basket of the game and the second bucket of the game for the Owls. As Cooley was the one that picked up the assist there. It'll be Winter with the ball for Hayes High, over to Dreher at the top of the arc. She'll move over and give it to Molly Martin on the right wing. Martin drives, throws it inside. Lindenberger has her shot blocked, but they're going to get a foul called against Emma Thomas, and Lindenberger will go to the line. First foul of the game for the Owls, and Lindenberger will get a chance to tie it up with 2 free throws. As she takes a breath, she'll dribble it twice and put it up, and it's good. And as the ref throws Lindenberger the ball, she'll have a chance to tie it right here. As she puts it up, it's good. It'll be Cooley bringing it up the floor for the Owls, being guarded by Winter. She'll get a screen and move towards the right wing. Throws it inside, and Winter will get the steal going down the floor. She'll have it taken away by, or poked free by Hannah Cooley, but Hayes High will get the ball as it went out of bounds. Dreher will be the one inbounding. Hayes High will go 4 across the baseline for their play. It'll be thrown to Lindenberger. She'll hand it off to Martin. She'll try a mid-range jumper that I believe was blocked by number 25, Jessica Borders, and Hayes High will keep possession as it went out of bounds. Hayes High struggling a little bit from the field to start. They're 1 for 5. Dreher inbounding once again, finds Molly Martin, pump fake to 3, takes a few steps, and now Dreher will try a 3. It's no good, but she'll get called for a travel, and it will be Owl ball. As Cooley will walk it up the floor. There's 5:37 to go. It's 4-4, and she'll pass it inside to Sales. Gives that off to Swinford. Her shot's no good, and it's rebounded by Winter, and she'll get fouled. It'll be called against Scarlett Swinford, wearing number 14, picking up the second team foul for Olathe West. Dreher will inbound it, and Martin will take it up the floor. She'll walk it up and get the offense set as she'll throw it over to Winter. She lost her balance, and it'll be stolen by Scarlett Swinford. That's her second of the game. And at the other end, Emma Sales brings her total up to 6. She has scored every point so far for the Owls. As Riley Dreher has the ball, she'll throw it over to Martin in the left corner. Pump fakes a 3, tries to throw it to Lindenberger, but this one's stolen by Jessica Borders. As it'll go up the floor, Borders will throw it to Sales, and she's got another one. As Borders picked up the assist, we're going to get a timeout from Hayes High with 4:44 to go here in the first quarter as they trail Olathe West 8-4, and we'll step away as well. This is Hayes High basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Hayes High School following the timeout by Indian head coach Len Melvin. It's Olathe West 8, Hayes High 4. The Owls have scored all their points from number 22, Emma Sales. And as Riley Dreher, or actually no, she'll come out of the game, and it'll be Morgan Armbruster checking in for the first time, inbounding it into Annie Humphrey. As Humphrey takes it up the floor, she'll throw it over and find Newell, who is looking for someone open to throw it to. Finds Molly Buckles at the free throw line. Over to Annie Humphrey on the right wing. She'll drive, pump fakes, finds Armbruster. She'll try a 3. It's on the way. No good. Rebounded by Cooley of the Owls. And it'll be taken up by Borders, and she'll pass it and get it back. And the 3's good with the assist from Cooley. It'll be Buckles with the ball and finds Armbruster on the left wing. Newell pump fakes and will throw it over to Humphrey on the right wing. She'll drive and pick up her dribble, give it back to Newell. She'll find Armbruster, and Armbruster will take a few dribbles and now will try driving. Finds Humphrey. She's got a 3-pointer on the way. It will take a couple bounces and roll out, and it'll be rebounded by number 4, Emma Thomas. And we're going to get a foul called against Hayes High. It'll be a reach and foul on number 32, Bridget Ross, the senior, picking up her first of the game, and the second team foul for the Indians. 7-0 run right now for Olathe West as Sales will drive and then throw it over to Thomas, and she'll give it over to Cooley at the top of the arc. As Swinford has the ball, she'll throw it over and find Borders. She'll drive, do a move, and get it to go. The Owls 5 for 7 from the field to start this one on a 9-0 run. After it was 4-4, they lead 13-4. And the ball was, Armbruster tried getting it inside the Buckles, and it was poked away by Jessica Borders. It will stay Hayes High ball, and we're going to get a substitution for the Owls as they'll have 2 players check in. It'll be Molly Collins and Lexi Cooley. Armbruster will inbound and find Bridget Ross, who will try driving and will do a move, and she'll get called for a travel. So Hayes High will give the ball right back to Olathe West, and Hannah Cooley will be the one taking it up the floor. She'll find Borders on the right wing. Hayes High about to bring their starters back in as they make their way to the scores table. There'll be a floater on the way from Hannah Cooley, and she has her first basket of the game. That's an 11-0 run for Olathe West as it's Annie Humphrey bringing it up the floor. She'll look, trying to find someone to throw it to. Will find Kinsley Newell, bobbled it, and now will drive and lose the ball, and it will be Olathe West ball. As Hayes High brings their starters back into the game, Winter, Dreher, Kenley Winter, and Martin and Lindenberger. On the floor for Olathe West, it is Lexi and Hannah Cooley, as well as Emma Sales, Molly Collins, and Jessica Borders. As Cooley brings it up the floor, she'll go towards the left wing, being guarded by Winter. It'll be pass to Emma Sales. She'll give it over to Borders, and she'll drive and try the shot, no good, and rebounded by number 3, Molly Collins. As now Borders will try a 3, that's no good. Rebounded once again by Cooley, and now another 3-pointer on the way, that's no good. And Hayes High will come out with the rebound from Kenley Winter. And we're gonna get a jump ball as Winter lost it, and right there to force the jump ball was Hannah Cooley and Jessica Borders. Either way, though, the arrow is pointing to Hayes High, so Riley Dreher will inbound it, and she'll throw it over to Martin, who will walk it up the floor, move towards the right side, and gets a screen from Winter. Now will drive, hand it off to Dreher, and now she'll throw it inside to Zoe Winter. She'll go to the hoop, get it poked free, finds Martin, left wing three, on the way, no good. Rebounded by the Owls, Hannah Cooley. Hayes High just 1 for 8 from the field and 0 for 3 from three-point range to start this contest. And we're going to get a foul against Molly Martin, which will be her first, as she tried poking the ball away from Hannah Cooley. Cooley fell to the floor, and it will be Hayes High's third team foul. As Sales and Borders check out for the first time, coming in will be Swinford back into the game, as well as Emma Thomas. As they throw it in, Thomas will take it on the left corner. Will work around a little bit, being guarded by Zoe Winter. Cooley almost had it stolen from Kenley Winter, and she'll do some moves and then find Lexi Cooley. She'll drive, being guarded by Martin. Shot no good. Rebounded by Scarlett Swinford, and that's no good as well. It'll be rebounded by Katie Lindenberger for her first, and now Kenley Winter has the ball stolen from her by Hannah Cooley. 55 seconds to go. Hayes High trails 15-4. Molly Martin with the steal. She'll go up the floor. 2-on-2. Finds Kenley Winter. Layup good. And Hayes High finally breaks the scoring drought as Kenley Winter gets her first points of the game. Hannah Cooley walks up the floor. 35 seconds left in the quarter. It'll be, she'll stand in place to dribble it, and then Emma Thomas will take it. Now over to Swinford. She'll give it to Collins, and Cooley gets it back with 20 seconds left. Cooley trying to do some moves against Winter. She'll drive, find an open man. That's Scarlett Swinford, and her shot's good. As there's 7 seconds on the clock, Hayes High will bring the ball up the floor, and Martin will drive. It's no good. Katie Lindenberger tried to get the putback. No good, but we're going to get a foul called against the Owls. As Lindenberger gets her second rebound, she'll go to the line and shoot some more free throws. Molly Collins will be called for her first foul. And Lindenberger's gotten both of her 2 points off of the free throws, and her first one is good. She shot in all 3 free throws, by the way, for Hayes High, and she'll try to cut the lead down to 9. As her shot is up, it is good. And they'll just, the Owls will just inbound it, and that'll take us to the end of the first quarter with Hayes High in front, or Olathe West in front 17-8. So when we come back, we'll have the second quarter action, and yep, we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Hayes High School as we get ready to start the second quarter. The Owls went up 15-4 on an 11-0 run, and then the two teams will exchange a couple more points, and it'll be 17-8, Olathe West in front. As they'll get the ball to start the second quarter. Inbounding it will be Jessica Borders. As she'll look around, she'll find Emma Sales, who throws it inside, finds Emma Thomas, and she's got her first points of the game. Olathe West shooting 50% from the field so far as Molly Martin will bring it up the floor for Hayes High. Hands it off to Riley Dreher as Lindenberger will set the screen. She's looking, finds Zoe Winter. She'll give it over to Kenley Winter, and Lindenberger sets the screen. Winter trying to find some space, and now Martin with the ball, tries driving and lost it for a second, and it's stolen by Emma Sales, and she'll go to the other end of the floor being guarded by Dreher, and Dreher's going to get called for the foul. That's her second of the game. As going to the line will be Emma Sales to attempt the first free throws of the game for the Owls. She is the leading scorer with 8 so far, and she'll try to bring it up to 10, and the and the lead to a 13-point advantage. As her first free throw's up, that one's good. This shot right here will put her in double figures. It's short, no good. Rebounded by Zoe Winter with her third. It'll be Riley Dreher bringing it up the floor. She'll get the screen from Lenenberger and work towards the left side, hand it off to Zoe Winter. And now she'll drive and hand it off to Kenley Winter. And she's being guarded tightly by Scarlett Swinford, and Winter's going to get called for a traveling violation. And we're going to get a substitution as Annie Humphrey checks back in place of Riley Dreher. Inbounding now for the Owls is number 22, Emma Sales, and she'll throw it into Hannah Cooley. She'll bring it up the floor, 6:55 to go here in the second quarter. Winter guarding her, gets screened. Inside, Sales will take it, does some moves, can't hit the layup, but is going to get called, but one of the Indian players is going to get called for the foul, and it'll be against number 11, Molly Martin. That's her second. Fifth foul of the half for the Indians, and now Emma Sales will go to the line once again. She makes this free throw, she'll be in double figures, and now she is with 10. She has scored the last 4 points for the Owls, and now we'll see Kinsley Newell check back in place of Molly Martin, as Sales will attempt her second free throw. It's good. It'll be Humphrey bringing up the floor for Hayes High, and she'll get the screen from Zoe Winter and drive and throw it to Kenley Winter, who went one way and then will finally get the screen. Kinsley Newell will take it. She'll try driving to the basket, hands it off to Kenley Winter, and they're going to say she stepped on the line, though it did look like she was across it. The refs say it is Olathe West ball. Cooley will walk it up the floor. Hayes High trails 22-8 with 6:19 to go here in the second quarter. Cooley will stop on the left wing, find a wide open Emma Thomas who can't hit the three. Rebounded by Kenley Winter. And now Hayes High will take it up. Winter will take it up the floor. Emma Sales tried going for the steal, but instead she's going to get called for a foul. That's her first and the fourth team foul of the half for the Owls. And now Hannah Cooley will check out, and her sister Lexi will check in. It'll be Newell inbounding. She'll find Zoe Winter, and she'll stand in place with the ball and now give it back to Annie Humphrey. She'll throw it over to Lindberger, right wing, looking for someone to throw it to, and gives it back to Humphrey. She'll try drive, stops, picks up her dribble, and will throw it to Winter, and it's stolen by, or not, poked free by Scarlett Swinford, and it will go out of bounds, and Hayes High will keep possession. Inbounding it this time will be Kinsley Newell. She'll be guarded by Emma Sales, and it'll be inbounded to Annie Humphrey, as she'll dribble in place for a second. She'll work towards the left, and then we'll throw it to Kenley Winter. She'll drive one way and then the other. Zoe Winter got in her way, and she'll pick up her dribble, and now we'll give it to Zoe. She'll drive toward, and we're going to get now we're going to get a foul against Hayes High. I believe they'll call it against Katie Lindenberger. That's going to be her first. So it'll be a turnover for Hayes High, and their 16th foul of the half with 5:33 to play in the first half. Inbounding will be Emma Sales. We're going to get some substitutions, and on the floor right now for Hayes High is Lindenberger, Kenley Winter, Riley Dreher, Molly Martin, and Zoe Winter. And as the Owls bring it up the floor, it's Emma Sales, throws it inside to Borders, has it poked free, and now Sales will get it back, and she'll throw it one way, and Lexi Cooley will throw it over to Emma Thomas, who can't hit the shot, rebounded by Katie Lindenberger. That's her third. And now Molly Martin will try the floater, and she'll get it. As that breaks a a scoring drought for Hayes High, and now Emma Sales will try a long three and bury it. As now Kinley Winter will drive it. She'll try the layup. It's no good. Rebounded by Scarlett Swinford. Hayes High just 3 for 12 from the field so far. As Borders will take it. She'll throw it inside to Sales, and she'll have it deflected. And I believe it was a pass deflected by Kinley Winter, and it will be Hayes High ball. Armbruster checks back in place of Kinley Winter. As so far in this contest, Winter has 2 points and a steal, as well as 3 rebounds, in which 3 Lady Indians are tied in that category. It's Zoe Winter, Kinley Winter, and Katie Lindenberger each with 3. As Martin drives, she'll try throwing it inside to Lindenberger, and it's over her head, and it will be Owl ball once again. Olathe West, Hannah Cooley will bring it up the floor. Gets the offense set, and now will give it to Jessica Borders on the left wing. Looks, finds Cooley once again, and she'll find, I believe that's Lexi Cooley, who will give it back to Hannah Cooley. And now it's deflected by Lindenberger and stolen by Lindenberger, and she'll go up the floor, give it to Martin. Martin will try a three-pointer on the way, goes in and out, but it's rebounded by number 3 of the Owls, Molly Collins, and coming out with the steal is number 11, Molly Martin. And we're going to get a stoppage of play for a second as there's an Olathe West player on the ground. It's going to be Hannah Cooley, and as they take a look at her, we'll step away. It's Olathe West 25, Hayes High 10. This is Hayes High basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Hayes High School, as they took an injury timeout, it was actually Lexi Cooley that was on the ground, the sophomore wearing number 2. It will be Hayes High ball as Dreher just inbounded it to Martin. 3:30 to play. Martin will give it back to Dreher on the right wing. She'll drive, throw it inside to Zoe Winter, and Molly Collins comes out with her first steal of the game. And we're going to get a travel against the Owls, and Hayes High's going to get it back. And inbounding it will be Riley Dreher, who will look for I believe she's looking for Martin or Armbruster, and she will throw it to Martin. As she looks towards the bench to get the play, she'll work towards more of the center of the court and drive against Hannah Cooley, and now we'll try passing it to Dreher as the pass was tipped. And now as Dreher bobbled the ball, it's going to be a double dribble call. As it's another turnover for Hayes High. It'll be Scarlett Swinford inbounding for the Owls, and it will be Hannah Cooley taking it up the floor. As she's being guarded by Zoe Winter, she'll work towards the right side, find a wide open Molly Collins in the corner. It's no good, and rebounded by Riley Dreher. As Martin will bring it up the floor, she'll find Katie Lindenberger, who can't hit the shot, but she was fouled, and she'll go to the line and shoot some more free throws. She's 4 for 4 at the line, being responsible for all the Hayes High free throws so far. That's the 5th team foul of the half for Olathe West, and the first foul against number 25, Jessica Borders. So Lindenberger will take a couple dribbles. Her shot is up and off the rim and no good. And checking back in for the Owls will be number 4, Emma Thomas, in place of Molly Collins. And Lindenberger will get a second chance at the free throw. As her second shot is up, it's good. Lindenberger now up to 5 points, all off of free throws. As it'll be Swinford with the ball on the right wing. She'll be guarded by Lindenberger, and we'll throw it over to Borders as she'll find Emma Thomas underneath the basket. She got fouled on the way up. It'll be Zoe Winter called for pushing as she was trying to play defense there. She'll get called for her first foul, and it'll be Emma Thomas shooting a couple free throws. She has 2 points so far, as well as a rebound, and that free throw took a bounce off the rim, bounce off the glass, and another bounce off the rim, and it's no good. As she'll attempt her second free throw. We had a substitution for Hayes High. As on the floor, it's Armbruster, Martin, Kenley, and Zoe Winter, and Buckles. As that second free throw is good for Emma Thomas. It's 26-11 Owls in front, and Martin will bring up the floor. Lost the dribble for a second, and then we'll throw it to Kenley Winter on the left wing. She'll work around a little bit, trying to find a path. We'll throw it out to Molly Buckles, who lost the ball, and it's going to be Olathe West ball. As we have 2:13 to play, we'll say it once again, it's Olathe West 26, Hayes High 11. And it'll be Hannah Cooley taking up the court once again, as she'll throw it over to Sales, the leading scorer with 14 for the Owls. She'll work towards that right side and find a cutting Hannah Cooley, and it's good as Sales picks up her second assist. And Cooley now up to 4 points in the game, as the Owls go 9 for 19 from the field so far. Armbruster will pick it up in the backcourt, and it's she tried throwing it to Kenley Winter as Scarlett Swinford stepped in front of it, and Hayes High will keep possession as it went out of bounds. And Annie Humphrey will check back in place of Kenley Winter, who Winter so far has picked up 2 points, 3 rebounds, and a steal. As Armbruster will be the one inbounding. She'll look, find Annie Humphrey at the H of the midcourt logo. She'll drive, step back, and we'll find Molly Martin, who thought about taking a long three and now will take a long three. Can't hit it, rebounded by Emma Sales. As Sales will take it up, she'll stop, try a long three, and bury it. As now Molly Martin will take it up the floor for Hayes High. She'll drive to the basket and get called for, and it will be Olathe West getting called for a foul. It will go against number 25, Jessica Borders, picking up her second of the contest. As it will be Martin attempting free throws. So far, she has just 2 points off of the basket, and she gets her third point right there to cut the lead down to just 19. Hayes High 6 for 7 so far in free throws. Martin trying to make it 7 for 8, and she does. She's now up to 4 points. As Cooley takes up the floor, we're approaching the final minute of the half. It will be Swinford with the ball, doing some moves against Winter. Looking, finds Cooley again, being guarded by Humphrey. Those two working it back and forth against each other. Now in for the first time tonight with the ball is Kia Finazzo, and she'll give it back to Hannah Cooley. She'll drive, attempt a layup, and she'll get called for a travel. And Hayes High will get it back. 44 seconds on the clock as they try to cut the deficit down a little bit more. It will be Martin taking up the floor off of the inbound from Winter, as Martin will drive towards that right side. Find Annie Humphrey, will try a corner three that was blocked by Swinford, and it'll be rebounded by Sales as it'll be thrown up the floor. It's no good by, I believe it was Swinford that attempted the shot, but I think it might have been blocked by Hayes High's Zoe Winter. So, and then I think an Owl touched it, so it will be Hayes High ball from a backcourt violation. It's Annie Humphrey inbounding. We'll find Zoe Winter, who almost threw it back to Martin in the backcourt. Will take it with 11 seconds, now 10. Over to Martin, right wing, thought about a three. Will drive over, and we'll find Zoe Winter with 3 seconds. Throw it inside to Molly Buckles, who will get called for a travel as she tried making a move towards the basket. And we'll see if Olathe West decides to shoot one more before we go to half. It will be Sales inbounding. She'll throw it in to Cooley with 2 seconds. 1 second, she'll throw it over to Emma Thomas, who will try a half-court shot. No good. It would have counted if it had gone, but we'll go to half with the score being Olathe West 31, Hayes High 13. And when we come back, we will have our halftime show where we will recap the scoring and focus on individual and team stats. So once again, it's Hayes High 13, Olathe West 31, and we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Hayes High School on the halftime show as the Lady Indians trail the Olathe West Owls by a score of 31-13 at the half. We'll start off tonight's halftime show by recapping the scoring in the first half. It started off with both teams going back and forth as it was 4-4, but Olathe West would then go on an 11-0 run, which would be ended by Hayes High's Kenley Winter scoring her only bucket of the half to make it 15-6. But Olathe West would answer right back with a two-pointer from number 14, Scarlett Swinford, and then two more free throws from Katie Lindenberger would follow, and that would lead to Olathe West scoring the next 5 points off of all of which came from their leading scorer, Emma Sales, and Hayes High would end their drought with a bucket from number 11, Molly Martin, but it wouldn't take long for Olathe West as they would answer back with a three-pointer from Emma Sales to make it 25-10, and then Katie Lindenberger would attempt another free throw to make it 25-11, and then there were six consecutive points scored for the Owls, which included a free throw from Emma Thomas, as well as a two-pointer from Hannah Cooley and a three-pointer from Emma Sales, and then Hayes High would score the final 2 points of the half off of two free throws from Molly Martin. So when we come back, we will give you our halftime individual and team stats, and we should be ready to start up the second half after that. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Hayes High School on the halftime show with the Lady Indians trailing Olathe West 31-13 out the half. We will now give you our halftime individual and team numbers, starting off with Hayes High scoring, led by Katie Lindenberger with 5, all of those coming off of free throws, and Molly Martin behind her with 4, and Kenley Winter and Zoe Winter finishing with 2. And looking over at Olathe West, their leading scorer is in double figures. Emma Sales has 17 at the half, and right behind her is Jessica Borders with 5, and Hannah Cooley picked up 4, Emma Thomas with 3, and Scarlett Swinford with 2. And looking over now at Hayes High's other individual numbers going down the list, Katie Lindenberger finished with 3 rebounds and a steal. Molly Martin would get a rebound, an assist, and 2 steals. And Kenley Winter would pick up 3 rebounds and a steal. And we actually will note that Hayes High has 3 players tied for the leader in rebounds, each with 3. It's Katie Lindenberger, Kenley Winter, and Zoe Winter. And going down the list, Riley Dreher finished with a rebound and a steal, and Zoe Winter finished with 3 rebounds, like we just said a second ago, and a block. And looking over at Olathe West, Hannah Cooley would finish with 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. And Molly Collins would finish with 2 rebounds of her own and a steal. And so, Emma Thomas would also finish with a rebound. Scarlett Swinford would get 2 rebounds, a block, and 2 steals as well. And Emma Sales would get 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. And Jessica Borders would finish with 1 assist and 2 steals. Now looking over at our halftime team numbers, starting off with Hayes High, who has struggled from the field, going 3 for 15 at just 20% and 0 for 6 from three-point range, but has been really good at the free throw line, going 7 for 8. They had 11 rebounds overall in that first half, as well as 1 assist and 5 steals and a block. And for Olathe West, they finished with going 10 for 22 from the field at 3 for 9 from three-point range and 4 for 6 from the free throw line. And their other team numbers included 10 rebounds, 6 assists, as well as 7 steals and 2 blocks. So that'll do it for our halftime show. When we come back, we'll bring you our second half action. Again, it's Olathe West 31, Hayes High 13, and we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Hayes High School as we are ready to now start the second half as Olathe West used 3 different scoring runs to jump out to a 31-13 lead, which included runs of 11 points, 5 points, and 6 points. And give you an update of who will be on the floor to start the second half, starting with the Owls. They'll go with number 0, Hannah Cooley, number 4, Emma Thomas, number 14, Scarlett Swinford, number 22, Emma Sales, and number 25, Jessica Borders, which is their starters. And Hayes High will do the same with Lindenberger, Martin, Kenley Winter, Dreher, and Zoe Winter. As Hayes High will start the half with the ball, it'll be Dreher inbounding it to Martin. As she'll walk it up the floor, being guarded by Swinford. Martin will drive and will throw it over to Lindenberger, who lost the ball, and will just stand there with the ball looking for someone to throw it to. We'll find Kenley Winter. She'll cut to the basket. Layup, no good, but she was fouled on the way up, and I think they're going to call this against Hannah Cooley. And it will be called against, actually it'll be called against number 22, Emma Sales, the leading scorer for the Owls. And Hayes High has a chance to get the first points of the half as Kinley Winter will go to the line with 2 points so far in this game. It takes 4 bounces on the rim and eventually goes in. As Winter will take a few dribbles, her shot will go up, and it's no good and rebounded by number 14 of the Owls, Scarlett Swinford. That's her third. She'll bring it up the floor. It's Hannah Cooley, and now as she threw it to Emma Thomas, she'll travel with it, and Hayes High's going to get it back. It'll be Dreher inbounding it to Martin. She'll walk it up the floor. Still being guarded by Scarlett Swinford. Martin looking, throws it over to Winter. If she caught it, she probably would have had a path to the basket for a layup, but she bobbled it and it goes out of bounds, and Olathe West gets it back. Inbounding it will be Swinford. Looking, lost the ball, and it fell to the floor, and Hayes High is going to get it back now. As Dreher will once again inbound it. Right next to the Hayes High bench. She'll take the ball from the ref and looking, was thinking about throwing it to Martin in that right corner, but instead we'll throw it to Kinley Winter as she'll bring it to the top of the arc and will move around a little bit, go towards that right side and have it stolen from her by Hannah Cooley. That's her second. She'll drive, throw it inside to Jessica Borders, so we'll throw it to Emma Sales, who almost lost it out of bounds, and now Emma Thomas will take it, find Borders, 3 on the way, no good, rebounded by Swinford, and the Owls will, it'll be Swinford who takes it and gets called, and we'll draw a foul. It'll be called against Hayes High's number 44, Zoe Winter. That's her second, and the first foul of the half for Hayes High. As it'll be Swinford going up to the line. She has 2 points so far, but leads the Owls in rebounds with 4, as her first one is up and good. She'll attempt her second free throw now, as that one's no good, but rebounded by number 22 of the Owls, Emma Sales. And we're going to get actually I think the ball went out of bounds, and we're going to get some substitutions in for Hayes High. It will be number 43, the sophomore Molly Buckles, coming in place of Zoe Winter. And as the Owls inbound it, it'll be taken by Emma Thomas, works towards that left side and hands it off to Jessica Borders. She'll take a step back 3, but we're going to get a foul against Hayes High. It'll be called against number 12, Kinley Winter. That's her first. Second team foul of the half for Hayes High. And inbounding it will be Hannah Cooley. As she'll take the ball, it'll be 3 across the baseline, and Emma Sales behind one of them. As Emma Thomas will take the inbound. She found Emma Sales on the cut, and she'll draw a foul. And it will be against number 10, Katie Lindenberger. As all but one of Hayes High's starters have 2 fouls so far. The only one that doesn't is Kinley Winter. And now Sales will go to the line and bring her point total up to 18 with that one. As she takes a few dribbles, Sales free throws up, no good, and rebounded by Katie Lindenberger. She will now take the lead in the rebound category. And now she tried throwing it, but it was deflected away by Emma Sales. And it will be Hayes High ball. Dreher inbounds it to Martin. She walks it up the floor, 6:36 to go here in the third quarter. Hayes High trails 33-14. And it'll be Kinley Winter on the right wing will drive, tries throwing it into Lindenberger as it was deflected. Her shot no good. Rebounded by actually it went out of bounds is what they're going to say, but it will be Olathe West ball, as Lindenberger couldn't quite get the layup to go. Shooting's been a struggle so far for Hayes High. They are 3 for 16 from the field, as Cooley will bring it up the floor. She'll throw it over and find Swinford on the right wing. Borders will take it, throws it inside to Sales. She does a turnaround jumper. It's no good. Rebounded by Hannah Cooley. And it's stolen by Molly Martin. As they go up the floor, Riley Dreher, left wing three, no good. Rebounded by Molly Buckles. As now Kenley Winter will try a three, and she can't hit it. And rebounded by Emma Sales. Hayes High 0 for 8 from three-point range to start this one. As now it'll be a cutting Jessica Borders that goes to the hoop and gets it off the assist from Scarlett Swinford. As Hayes High goes up the floor, Molly Martin made the shot and will get the first field goal of the half for Hayes High. It'll be called against number 4, Emma Thomas, picking up her second in the second of the half for the Owls. As Molly Martin's free throws up, it's good. Brings her up to 7 points. And Hayes High 9 for 11 from the free throw line in this contest. As it'll be taken by Hannah Cooley on the left wing. She'll give it over to Jessica Borders, who will try throwing it inside, finds Emma Sales, and it's good. She's now up to 20. As Zoe Winter has the ball, or correction, it's Bridget Ross with the ball. We'll give it over to Kinsley Newell on the right corner. Inside, she'll throw it out, and Newell will try three and hit the first one of the game for Hayes High. Off the assist from Molly Buckles. It'll be Kinsley Newell that got the shot to fall. And Hayes High 5 for 20 from the field. As I just said a second ago, it's their first three-pointer of the game. It's 37-20, Owls in front. 4:38 to go here in the third quarter. As it'll be taken by Jessica Borders. She'll throw inside to Emma Sales, who can't get the layup to go, but was fouled on the way up, so she'll go to the line now. As the ref goes over to the scores table, it will be called against number 21, Kinsley Newell, who got that three-pointer a second ago. Fourth of the half for the Lady Indians. And Emma Sales has a chance to put up more to her 20 points that she has so far, as her first free throw takes a couple bounces and goes in. As this one right here will bring the Owls up to 39. It's good for Emma Sales. As Martin brings it up the floor for Hayes High. She'll drive towards that left side, and we'll give it over to Bridget Ross, who hands it off to Dreher. She'll drive, pick up her dribble, try throwing it into Molly Buckles, but threw it a little too far in front of her. As it goes out of bounds, Olathe West will take over. And now bringing it up the floor will be Hannah Cooley. She'll work towards that left side, throw it in the corner to find Scarlett Swinford. It's batted and will be picked up by Molly Collins, who gives it back to Hannah Cooley. Sales with the ball being guarded by Dreher. Will throw it across court, intended for Scarlett Swinford, but it goes out of bounds into the Olathe West bench, and Hayes High's got it back. Armbruster will check back into the game for Hayes High in place of Riley Dreher, who has picked up a rebound and a steal. As Ross inbounds it to Martin, she'll walk it up the floor. As Hayes High tries to cut down on this 19-point deficit. Newell will take it and give it over to Ross, who throws it back to Martin. She'll drive and will get the layup as it goes around the hoop, and it falls in. That will bring Martin's total up to 9 as the Owls take it up the floor. It's Molly Collins as they work it around the arc. And now Collins will cut, take the ball, throw it out, find Jessica Borders, who will try a three-pointer. It's no good. Rebounded by Kinsley Newell. And we're going to get a foul called against the Owls. It'll go against Jessica Borders, who that'll be her third personal foul of the game, as she'll come out, as well as Scarlett Swinford. And It'll be Martin walking up the floor for Hayes High with just a little over 3 minutes to go. Martin drives the floater, and gets the and one. It'll go against number 2, Lexi Cooley, for her first of the game. As Martin gets into double figures with that last shot, she'll now go up to 12 with the free throw, and it's 25-39. Indians trail by just 14. They've done really well at the free throw line as that and one brought them up to 10 for 12. Olathe West will work it around the arc, over to Hannah Cooley at the top, throws it over to Collins on the right wing as Thomas tries a long three-pointer. It's no good. Rebounded by Molly Buckles. And Hayes High will take it up the floor. It's Morgan Armbruster on the left wing. She'll find Newell. She'll drive, pass it out to Armbruster, who tries a long three, isn't going to get it, and it's rebounded by Lexi Cooley. As now it'll be the Owls at the other end of the floor as Molly Collins will get her first points of the game. And now Hayes High going down the floor. Molly Buckles into the lane as her pass was tipped, and it will stay with Hayes High as we'll get a substitution, and we'll give you a quick update who's all on the floor for each team. For the Indians, it's Lindenberger, Humphrey, Zoe Winter, Newell, and Armbruster. And for the Owls, it's Hannah Cooley, Collins, Sales, Lexi Cooley, and Emma Thomas. And Lexi Cooley just comes away with the steal, and we'll throw it up court to Collins, and it will be a missed three from Hannah Cooley as Hayes High will bring it up the floor. It'll be Humphrey, throws it over to Winter, pump fakes, will drive, stop, attempt the shot, and bury it. Zoe Winter cuts the lead down to just 14 as Hayes High now 33% from the field off of that last shot. They've gone on they've hit their last 7 points. The Owls have hit just 2, and as they call timeout, we will as well. It's Olathe West 41, Hayes High 27. This is Hayes High basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Following the Olathe West timeout, the Owls will take over on their side of the court. It'll be Lexi Cooley inbounding as she'll look for anyone open. She'll find Emma Sales, who has the pass batted out of bounds by number 30, Riley Dreher. It will stay Olathe West ball, but Hayes High is stepping it up a little bit on defense as Cooley will take it, being guarded by Winter. She thought about driving, but instead will step back, and Riley Dreher steps in front of it and gets the steal, but will fall to the floor and lost it, and Hannah Cooley will get her third of the game. As she'll be the one that goes all the way to the basket, will get fouled as it was batted, as she drove to the basket, the ball was poked free, and Kenley Winter will be called for her second. And with that foul, Cooley will attempt a couple free throws as she'll take 3 dribbles. The shot will go up and take a couple bounces and go out. As she'll attempt her second one to get the Owls back to a 15-point lead. That one's good. Hannah Cooley with 5 points so far in the contest as Humphrey will bring it up for Hayes High. We'll work towards the left side and give it over to Zoe Winter. She'll drive, do a spin move, and got her hand underneath the ball as she was dribbling it, and they'll call that for a double dribble. Sales will inbound it and give it over to Lexi Cooley. She'll walk it up the floor, being guarded by Humphrey. She'll throw it towards that left side. Almost got it stolen by Kenley Winter, but instead it will throw it to her sister, Hannah Cooley. And now will be given to Emma Sales. And we're going to get a foul against Hayes High. Not quite sure what happened there, but it'll be against Zoe Winter for her third, making her the only Hayes High player to reach 3 fouls in the game. So it will be Emma Thomas attempting 2 free throws for the Owls, and her first one is no good. And Molly Martin will check back into the game for Hayes High as the leading scorer and the only Lady Indian in double figures with 12 in place of Annie Humphrey. And the second free throw for Emma Thomas is good. Martin will bring it up the floor. We're at the last minute of the third quarter. Winter will drive, and I believe it'll be Hannah Cooley who will get called for the blocking foul, and it'll be her first of the game. And Winter will now go to the line, as that's 5 team fouls for Olathe West with 57 seconds to go. Winter's first free throw is up and nothing but net. And now Winter's second free throw can cut the lead down to 14, and it goes in and out and rebounded by the Owls. Scarlett Swinford picking up her 5th. As the Owls bring it up the floor, it'll be Emma Sales in the lane, does some spin moves, and will miss the shot as it goes out of bounds. It will be Hayes High ball. Olathe West has missed their last 5 shots. And now it'll be Martin taking the inbound, will throw it over, find Kinley Winter. Thought about trying a right wing 3, and instead will give it back to Martin. She'll drive, try a floater, no good. Rebounded by the Owls, number 4, Emma Thomas, and it went out of bounds. And it will be, as Riley Dreher stepped in to bat it away, it will be Olathe West ball with 29 seconds left in the quarter. Emma Sales will now throw a baseball pass across court, and it's caught by Emma Thomas, and she'll give it over to Lexi Cooley, who misses the layup, and will be it will go out of bounds, and Hayes High will get it back. Some of the fans wanted an over the back against against number 4 of the Owls, Emma Thomas, as a lot of people thought she reached over the top of Katie Lindenberger, but instead it will now be stolen by Lexi Cooley for her second of the game with 12 seconds to go. The Owls will work it inside, and Emma Sales will get the bucket off the assist from Swinford. And now Hayes High will try a shot from Molly Martin at the buzzer, and it bounces off the rim. Would have counted if it had gone, but we are going to go to the third quarter with Hayes High trailing 28-45. So we'll see how the final quarter plays out. And we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Hayes High School as we were ready to start the fourth quarter. Hayes High trails 28-45 after scoring 3 times the amount of points in the third quarter than they did in the second quarter with 15. And now it'll be Hayes High ball as Martin will now throw it and had the pass deflected as it was intended for Kenley Winter, but it will stay with the Indians. Winter will inbound it and will look towards Martin and throw it towards Martin as she'll do some moves against Borders. She'll pass it to Dreher, and now it'll be stolen by number 14, Scarlett Swinford, going down to the other end. She'll pass it to Sales, does some spin moves, can't get the shot to fall, and Swinford comes out with the rebound, and it will be passed inside. Jessica Borders will get the shot to fall. As picking up the assist that time was Hannah Cooley. It'll be Riley Dreher who passes it to Molly Martin. She'll go inside to Lindenberger, and she loses her dribble as it goes out of bounds. The Owls will take possession. As Hayes High will now do a substitution, Kenley Winter will come out of the game, and it will be, I believe it will be Zoe Winter, or no, Kinsley Newell checks into the game. And Jessica Borders will take it right now for the Owls. It'll be worked around the arc, and into the right corner is Emma Thomas. She finds a cutting Emma Sales, who does some spin moves, but will be called for a travel. It'll be Riley Dreher inbounding as Hayes High will walk it up the floor, trying to score their first points of the quarter. And now Riley Dreher will have the ball stolen from her by Jessica Borders. Will go to the other end and get the shot. It'll be Martin up the floor, into the corner, finds Kinsley Newell, who will try a three-pointer and can't hit it, but Dreher will get the rebound, and it will be thrown to the right corner. Newell pump fakes a three and will be called for a travel, and the Owls will get it back. The Hayes High students disagreeing with the call, and inbounding for the Owls will be Scarlett Swinford, as it'll be taken up by Hannah Cooley. She'll work towards the right side, go to the basket, but we'll try throwing it to Scarlett Swinford, who caught it out of bounds. I think she thought it was last touch by Olathe West, though I think it was tipped by Hayes High. So either way, it's Hayes High ball as Martin takes up the floor. She'll throw it over to Riley Dreher, trying to get Hayes High out of a 21-point deficit. Newell will take it and throw it inside to Zoe Winter, out to Martin. Pump fakes a three, drives, throws it out to Dreher, and we'll give it back to Zoe Winter, who will try a long-range jumper. No good, and rebounded by Dreher, as she'll give it out to Martin, who will try a three-pointer and bury it. Riley Dreher with her first assist of the game, and Molly Martin hitting just the third three-pointer of the game for Hayes High. We're going to get a timeout as it's 49-31, Owls in front. This is Hayes High basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Following the timeout, it'll be Olathe West ball as they lead it 49-31 with 5:41 to play in the game. And they'll inbound it. It'll be Hannah Cooley as Kinsley Newell made an attempt to steal. And now Emma Thomas will take it, pass it up to Scarlett Swinford, and she'll get the shot to fall and an and one. Owls back up to a 20-point lead, going 16 for 36 from the field with that last shot. They'll call the foul on Riley Dreher, which will be her third. As Swinford attempts her free throw, it hits the back iron and will be rebounded by Jessica Borders, and it will be a foul against it'll be a foul against Olathe West. I think a lot of people thought it was against Hayes High, including myself, but the foul will go against Jessica Borders for her fourth. Martin will bring it up the floor, being guarded by Swinford. She'll throw it inside to Winters, as she'll look for anyone open to throw to. Has not dribbled yet, and now will dribble, go into the lane, tried passing it to Lindenberger, but it goes off the foot of Jessica Borders, and it's going to be a kickball. And we'll get a substitution for Olathe West as Molly Collins checks into the game, and Jessica Borders checks out, as she is the top fouler in the game from all teams with 4. And Zoe Winter will pass it out, find Molly Martin. She'll work around, try a three from the top of the arc, no good. Rebounded by Molly Collins. As the Owls work around the arc, it'll be Collins with the ball, and she'll find Hannah Cooley, and Collins picks up her first assist of the game, and Hannah Cooley will have her reach 7 points with that last bucket. As Newell will work towards, as Newell gets it in the right corner, she'll work towards the left side, and Hannah Cooley will steal it from Zoe Winter. And pick up that'll be her fourth steal, and now Emma Thomas will get the basket at the other end. Martin brings it up the floor for Hayes High. We're almost halfway through with the fourth quarter, and now Newell will take it left corner or right corner three on the way, no good. Rebounded by the Owls, Scarlett Swinford. As now Sales will take it, other end, shot no good, rebounded by Zoe Winter. And now Martin will bring it up the floor, pump fake to pass, and now we'll throw it over in the right corner. Newell, who gives it to Lindenberger, and back out to Newell, pump fakes the three, drives and passes, and it's going to be a steal by Molly Collins, her second. As it'll be brought up the floor by Cooley, she'll throw it towards that right wing to Molly Collins, who will give it over to Thomas. Looking, trying to find anybody to throw it to. We'll throw it to Scarlett Swinford. And as they continue to work it around the arc, it'll be inside to Emma Sales, who will get the and one off of Anna Cooley's 5th assist. And Sales now up to 26 points, and the and one, and the foul is called against Riley Dreher for her 4th. As Sales has a chance to make this a 27-point lead for the Owls, which will put them 3 points away from a running clock. Her free throw's up and no good, rebounded by Bridget Ross, picking up her first stat of the game. It'll be Molly Martin going up the floor, moves towards that left side, drives, stops, throws it out to Annie Humphrey, and now she'll drive and throw it inside to Molly Buckles, who spins, turns around, and gets the bucket and an and one. It'll be called against number 22 of the Owls, Emma Sales, picking up her 3rd, and now Buckles has a chance to get Hayes High to 34 points here as the free throw's good. As the Owls working up the floor, it's Jessica Borders on the right wing. Looks over, finds Emma Sales. She'll drive against Armbruster, throws it out to Cooley. She'll drive all the way to the hoop and have her shot blocked by number 43, Molly Buckles, and it will stay with the Owls. It'll be Kinley Winter who comes into the game in place of Molly Martin, who has been the leading scorer for the Indians with 15. And inbounding it will be Lexi Cooley. Looking, finds Emma Sales. Her shot on the way, no good. Rebounded by Borders, her 2nd, and three-pointer no good. And another rebound for Lexi Cooley this time, but she travels with the ball, and Hayes High is going to get it back. It'll be Bridget Ross inbounding, and we'll update you with who's on the floor for Hayes High. It's Humphrey, Ross, Armbruster, Buckles, and Kenley Winter in the right corner. As Hayes High moves it around, it's Bridget Ross. She'll have it in the left corner. She'll drive for a second and throw it out to Kenley Winter, who will throw it inside Buckles. Winter takes it, drives, and we're going to get a blocking foul against the Owls. Lexi Cooley, her 2nd. Winter tried making a drive to the basket and was able to draw the blocking foul. Now we're going to see Avery Cockbill and Kaya Finazzo check into the game for the Owls. There's 2:26 to play. Hayes High trails 34-57. And inbounding will be Armbruster. As she looks, she'll find Buckles near the free throw line. She'll throw it over to Kenley Winter on the right wing. Drives, and we'll throw it back out to Annie Humphrey. And now she'll drive and give it to Buckles, or correction, give it to Armbruster, who will throw it into Buckles, who will get fouled. It will go against number 3, Molly Collins. 16th foul of the half for the Owls, and the 2nd Molly Collins personal foul. As Armbruster inbounds it, it was touched by Lexi Cooley, who batted it away as the pass was intended for Kenley Winter. And as Armbruster looks, she'll throw it into Humphrey, who will or actually we're going to get a timeout by Hayes High, as with 2:13 left, they'll call a full timeout, and we'll be back in a moment. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Following the Hayes High timeout, it will be Morgan Armbruster inbounding with 2:13 to go, and she'll throw it in, find Bridget Ross, who will throw it into Molly Buckles. Can't hit the layup, but was fouled on the way up, and Hayes High is going to go to the line and shoot a couple. It'll be Molly Collins picking up her 3rd of the game and the 7th team foul of the half for Olathe West. As Buckles will attempt her first free throw, it rolls around and goes out. As she gets ready to attempt her 2nd one, it'll go up and takes a couple bounces and goes out, and it's rebounded by the Owls. Cooley will walk it up. Lexi Cooley will walk it up the floor and throw it over to Collins. It'll be Hull who, as the Owls work it around the arc, it'll be a three-pointer on the way from Avery Cogdill. No good. Rebounded by Bridget Ross. And Humphrey will bring it up the court for Hayes High, and she'll throw it over to Kenley Winter. Minute 39 to go. Hayes High down by 23. Armbruster drives or takes a couple steps and will give it over to Ross, who gives it over to Humphrey. And now Armbruster will try a long three on the way. No good. Rebounded by Cooley. As the Owls drive, it'll be Hull who tries a three-pointer. Can't hit it. Rebounded by Collins. And now Collins will try a three. She can't hit it. It's rebounded by number 5, Sydney Hull, who gets fouled on the way up for the layup, and she'll go to the line. At the line is Sydney Hull, who is so far in this game gotten just 1 rebound and hasn't picked up any other stats, but she gets her first points of the game right there to give the Owls a 24-point advantage. And her second free throw, no good, and batted out of bounds by the Owls, number 3, Molly Collins. And Hayes High will get it back with 1:08 to go. Ross will throw it in. Humphrey will bring it up the floor as she walks past the midcourt line. She'll throw it over to Ross on the left wing and give it back to Humphrey. She'll try throwing it in. It'll be stolen by Cogdill. And going up the floor for the Owls will be number 1, Kaya Finazzo, and she gets her first points of the game, giving the Owls 60 points in the game. It'll be Newell who drives, and now Finazzo will get her first steal of the game. She'll pass it over to Cogdill, who gives it back to Finazzo. That shot no good. Rebounded by Collins, and now it'll be stolen by Humphrey, who will give it over to Newell, who passes out to Armbruster. Ross will try a three-pointer. That one's no good. Rebounded by the Owls. It's Molly Collins who comes out with it, and they'll more than likely just dribble out the clock as it goes down to 5 seconds. Hannah Cooley will walk it up the floor with 2 seconds, 1 second, and that will do it as Olathe West gets their first ever Hayes City Shootout Championship as they defeat Hayes High tonight by a score of 60-34. And Hayes High will fall to 2-1. The Owls will improve to 3-0, and we'll be back in a little bit for the post-game show to talk about the final individual and team stats as well as the scoring, and then after that we'll end tonight's broadcast. This is Hayes High Basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. Back here at Hayes High School on the post-game shows, the Lady Indians fall in the Hayes City Shootout Championship to the Olathe West Owls by a score of 60-34. We'll start off our post-game show by recapping the scoring. Olathe West jumped out to an early lead, 4-2, and then a couple of free throws from Hayes High's Katie Lindenberger would tie it up, but that would lead Olathe West to go on an 11-0 run to jump out to a 15-4 lead, which would end with a bucket from Kenley Winter, and then Olathe West would respond with a couple more baskets of their own, and before they knew it, it was 22-8 Owls, and then Hayes High would respond with a bucket from Molly Martin, who led the game in scoring for the Indians, and then as Hayes High tried to cut the lead down, Emma Sales would drain a three-pointer to make the score 25-10, and then the Owls would go on a 6-1 run to bring their total up to 31, which is what they would take to the half, as the score was 31-13 Owls. Hayes High would open up the second half with a free throw, but the Owls would respond with 4 points, and Hayes High would get a bucket from Molly Martin and an and one, with the Owls coming back again with Emma Sales with another bucket, and Kinsley Newell hit the first three-pointer of the game for Hayes High to make it 37-20, and then the Owls would get a couple more free throws from Emma Sales, and then Hayes High would score the next 5 points of the game from Molly Martin, and then Molly Collins would get a bucket, and the two teams would exchange a few baskets and free throws, and Hayes High would get a bucket from Molly Martin to make it 31-49, and the final run of the game for the Owls would be an 8-0 run to make it 57-31, and then Hayes High's final points of the game included a bucket and an and one from Molly Buckles, and the final points for the Owls would be a free throw from Sydney Hull and a bucket from Kaya Finazzo. So now we'll take a look at our final individual stats for tonight's game, starting with Hayes High scoring. Leading the way there was Molly Martin, finishing with 15, and right behind her it would be Katie Lindenberger finishing with 5, all of which came from free throws. Kenley Winter will finish with 4, and Kinsley Newell with 3, and Zoe Winter and Molly Buckles all finished with 3 as well. Now looking over to the Owls, they were led by Emma Sales, who finished with 26 points on the night, and the other Owl to enter double figures with Jessica Borders finishing with 11, and Emma Thomas would finish with 6, and they'd also see Scarlett Swinford finish with 5 and Molly Collins with 4, and Hannah Cooley would finish with 7 and Kaya Finazzo with 2 and Sydney Hull with 1. Now looking over at Hayes High's other individual numbers, going down the list, they'll start with Annie Humphrey getting an assist and a steal. Katie Lindenberger tying as the leader in rebounds with 4 while also getting a steal. Molly Martin picking up a rebound and assist and 3 steals, leading the way for the Lady Indians in that category. Kinley Winter would finish with 3 rebounds and a steal, and Kinsley Newell would have a rebound of her own, and Riley Dreher would finish with 3 rebounds, an assist, and 2 steals. Bridget Ross would get 2 rebounds, and so would Molly Buckles, while also getting a block and an assist, and Zoe Winter would be the other Indian to tie the lead in rebounds with 4, while also getting a block. And looking over at Olathe West, they will start with Hannah Cooley, who had 4 rebounds and led the game in assists with 5, while also getting 4 steals, leading in that category as well for the Owls. Kaya Finazzo finished with a rebound and a steal, and Lexi Cooley would finish with 3 rebounds and 2 steals. And for Molly Collins, she finished with 6 rebounds and got an assist and 2 steals. Emma Thomas would finish with 2 rebounds and an assist, and Sydney Hull would get a rebound of her own, and Avery Cogdell would finish with a steal. Scarlett Swinford led the way in rebounds for the Owls with 7. She also would pick up 2 assists as well as 3 steals and a block, and Emma Sales would get 4 rebounds and 2 assists as well as a steal, and finally Jessica Borders would finish with 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals. And now we'll take a look at our final team numbers, starting with Hayes High, who struggled from the field tonight, going 11 for 34 and 3 for 17 from three-point range, while going 12 for 17 at the free throw line. They would get 20 rebounds altogether, with 11 in the first half and 9 in the second half, and would finish with 4 assists as well as 8 steals and 2 blocks. And for the Owls, they would go 20 for 48 from the field, while going 3 for 17 from three-point range, just like Hayes High. And the Owls would finish 11 for 20 at the free throw line. They picked up 30 rebounds with 10 in the first half and then doubled it in the second half with 20. And they also would pick up 13 assists, doubling what they had in the first half. They would also double the amount of steals that they had in the first half, picking up 7 in the first half and 15 altogether, correction. And they would also finish with 2 blocks. So that'll do it for tonight's game. Hayes High falls to 2-1, and Olathe West will improve to 3-0, where they will now face off against the Shawnee Mission South Raiders. And Hayes High will have their next home game on Tuesday here at Hayes High School against the Manhattan Indians. And we will be on the call for that, so we want to thank you all for listening to our broadcast of the Hayes City Shootout. I'm Hank Corsair. This has been Hayes High basketball on the Tribe Broadcasting Network. We'll see you all next time.